Something like this. Hit it.
The Roger Report live morning show, weekdays at 9 a.m.
Say y'all, I was on Roger's panel a few times and I couldn't take it. The heat. I got out the kitchen. It was hot. I was sweating. I had to get out.
He's Roger, and he's right.
Check this out.
We can live or die. You choose. I have spoken to you a lot of times in hatred and anger, and you have not heard me. Well, you had better hear me today. If you won't listen to me when I make an appeal for the Negroes because you have no concern for the Negroes, listen to me when I make an appeal for America. You claim you love America. Well, we love America. But you are driving us back and you are making a Samson out of us, and we are going to pull down the pillars. And then you think we have no right to ask for something? Is it too much to ask you to grant us human dignity? Should we be put down and shot to death for this request? If so, you can aim your guns. What the hell do you think we care about dying if you're going to deny us the right to live?
Good morning, folks, and welcome to another edition of the Roger Report Live, the best show on social media. If you are new to the channel, go ahead and take a moment out to hit that like button, because this is where you're going to find the best content on social media. And you don't have to worry about it because you're going to have me right here to make sure that happens. And if you've already been coming to the channel for a while, then go ahead and hit that like button, because you already know what time it is. And you know that this is where you're going to get the best content on social media. It's not a mystery to you at this point. You've seen other people do it. You've seen other people do it well. But what you have not seen is anyone do it quite the way I do it. So make sure you hit that like button. And everyone, yes, everyone, take a moment out, share the content, y'all. There are so many people who need to get great content like this. And it's just a small thing you can do to help the world be a better place. And isn't that what we want at the end of the day? Don't we want the world to be a better place? Of course we do. So share the content out. Share it through your social media. Share it through word of mouth, or even text someone's phone. But do what you got to do to help spread the word. Okay? Now, folks, we are back with another really interesting episode. We're going to get into some deep stuff today, but I mean, it's the Roger Report Live. What y'all expect, okay? That's what we do over here. We have fire episodes. That's what we do, you know. And you know, and since we done did it all these other days, why not do it today? You know, okay? Why not do it today? So we're gonna have another fire episode, y'all. And today we are going to get into a new term that I just found about last night: abortion liberation, y'all. Okay, we're gonna deal with abortion liberation today. A fight Black women believe is worth fighting for. Okay, that's what we're dealing with, y'all. Abortion liberation, a fight Black women believe is worth fighting for. All right, and before we get into this, let me say this: shout out to all the people who give me views on a regular basis, because you know y'all are the fam, and I appreciate that big time. Shout out to all the people who hit the like button on a regular basis. Y'all know I make a big issue of the like button because it helps with the algorithm stuff. You know, it helps with the algorithm stuff. Shout out to the people who leave comments after the stream. And I do try to address comments, y'all. So if you say something, I'm going to get back to you. May take me a day or two sometime, but I try to get all the comments done somewhat early. And shout out to everybody who hypes me up every chance they get, y'all. And keep in mind, remember to do all this stuff no matter how long the stream has been up. It's okay. If it was up a week ago and you just found the channel, hey, still the right thing to do. You know, I encourage everyone who watches the Roger Report Live to go back and listen to the streams that happened before you became part of the fam. It's a good way to get through your work day and any other day, any other thing that you want to get through. So, do your thing. Check it out. Have your own Roger Report Live marathon. That's what you do. You're going to enjoy it anyway. All right. But shout out to all y'all. Shout out to all y'all. And I thank you very much. And I'm going to say shout out. Look, y'all, it ain't me. It ain't me. This how I go. You try to come a little too early. Some reason they cut you off. But if you ain't quick enough, you ain't going to necessarily get that first spot, y'all. And what we like to call around these parts, okay? If you want to be Highlander of the stream, you got to do it. And you got to do it right. So shout out to the Highlander of today's stream, my main man, Afro Troop TV. He is the Highlander of today's stream. Shout out to you, my brother. Shout out to you. Appreciate you big time. Appreciate you big time. Shout out to Bruce on Wayne. What's happening? What's happening? We got Trail Bentley representing as he always does. Hashtag long live the visual line steppers. Hashtag Negroes in the wilderness. Hashtag dignity over vagina. Hashtag Al Gore's babies. Hashtag hell Hydra. Shout out to my main man, Tunnel Runner. What's good, my brother? Glad to see you. Glad to see you. We got my main man, Floyd Thompson, in the house. The Great Black Reset has pulled up a seat at the cool table. Afro Merchant is in the building. Good to see you. Good to see you. We got the one, the only, the pit master himself. Chef Mike's Roundtable is here. Good to have you. Good to have you. We got KP from KC in the building. What? KC5 in the building. We got KP from KC5 in the building. What's good, my brother? Great to see you. Great to see you. Y'all, we gonna deal with abortion liberation. And I want to tell y'all right now, y'all, I threw a couple links in the description. I did. Y'all would not believe the stuff that I had to listen to or call myself listening to just to, see where the black women were coming from when it comes to the abortion and some of the stuff I came across, y'all. Women presenting themselves in certain ways, presenting themselves as scholars and authorities, authors, the whole enchilada, y'all. I seen the whole enchilada, y'all. But today we gonna deal with the reality of a situation, and you know what? My bad. I ain't even put up my main man, Urban Reed. I ain't got my thing rolling. Okay, sponsor of the stream can't be disrespected. Okay, can't be disrespected. Let me fix that right now. My bad. Boom. Shout out to Urban Reed one more again for being a sponsor of today's stream. Appreciate you big time. Didn't even have a banner roll. Okay, boom. We got it right now. So y'all, we gonna deal with some very real things, and of course, everyone's invited to come say what they want to say. Even people who listening out in the clouds, and I don't happen to know you. No, we want people to chime in, whether you with me or you think I'm wrong. We want you to chime in. All right. But y'all, they got new terms and everything. They want you to feel real comfortable aborting babies, right? They want you to feel real comfortable aborting babies. Oh, I guess I'm not supposed to say. Well, I don't know what's true or not. But I guess I'm gonna try to come up with some terms and say something other than abortion or whatever. But look, y'all, black women like killing children. And that's what I actually want to deal with today. Let's just deal with it head on. Black women like killing children. Now, this is the thing. A lot of folks gonna wrap arguments up into my body, my choice. Nobody said that ain't true. No one says that ain't true. What does that got to do with the fact that they like killing babies? Okay. That ain't got nothing to do with it. It is your body and it is your choice. So you can choose to kill a kid or you can choose not to kill a kid. It's your choice. Now, I'm going to say this, y'all, because I've said this before. Abortion is truly a woman's issue because women have them. A man can ask you to have one. A man can ask you not to have one. She's going to end up doing what she wants to do. Okay? She's going to end up doing what she wants to do. That's just how the game goes. Because you know what? At the end of the day, it is her body and it is her choice. So therefore, whether she gets rid of the child or not, it's on her. Okay? That's on her. Now, I think at some point, black men, we got to step back and start asking ourselves, why black women like having so many abortions? Or why do they like, I got to say something. I'm going to say something. I don't know if it's true or not about saying abortion, but we're going to roll. Why do black women like terminating pregnancy so much? Okay, there we go. There's something we can say. Why do black women like to terminate pregnancies so much? Let's think about this, y'all. As men, we're watching them do what they want to do. Okay? Yeah. Sometimes some guy will get a woman pregnant and he never meant to get that woman pregnant. That can happen. That can happen. Okay, I'm not gonna say it can't happen. It could happen. And sometimes you just get a woman pregnant because you don't think about it. Y'all just doing the do. Okay, you're just doing the do. You know, so next thing you know, she pregnant, but then you don't even like the idea of her being pregnant with your child. You don't like that idea. So you may not want her to even keep the baby. That happens. Okay, that happens. Now, when you think about the fact that black men use more condoms than any other group of men. Okay, let's think about that for a second, y'all. Black men have been reported to use condoms more than any other group of men in the country. So who is the least likely men to get pregnant by? Let's be realistic, y'all. Let's put the numbers together and see what it all means. Who is the least likely men to get pregnant by? Black men. You are the least likely men to get pregnant by. Why? Because black men like using protection more than they don't. Okay? It is what it is. And I get it. You know, when you wear condoms, you know, you do it because you think it's necessary. You know, it's always going to be the age-old argument. It feel better without the condom. And we get that. We get that. But we use them anyway. Okay? We use them anyway. It ain't like we want to. We do it because of, you know, it's a necessary evil, as they say. All right? Now, I understand, you know, women have things going up as far as diseases and things like that, y'all. We ain't talking about diseases, but that is a thing. Black women are having, you know, seem to be getting more diseases and things like that. It is what it is. That ain't nothing we can control as black men. We can't tell them not to sleep with a guy who has a disease. We can't tell, because it's their body, their choice. If they want to sleep with men who have diseases, that's on them at the end of the day. Okay? I mean, when you like sleeping with men who go to prison, yeah, I can understand why you might end up with something that you didn't necessarily want to have, or the fact that black women, from a general standpoint, don't seem to have standards when it comes to men they'll sleep with. Plus the fact that other groups of men have very easy access to black women because they don't really turn them down. But let's think about this, y'all. And I'm going to say something I've said before, which is still true to this day. I ain't never heard of a black woman aborting a white baby. Ain't never heard of it. So what is going on? You got black women get pregnant by black men, But black men strapping up. Okay. So you're dealing with, some random pregnancy here or there. Most black men who have children, okay, they're having children with their wives. All right. You got a smaller percentage of black men who are single fathers. Something happened and it didn't work out for them that she didn't get rid of the baby. So, he's stuck. It doesn't make a difference the quality of woman she was. He's stuck. Why? Because it's her body, her choice. He can't make her terminate a pregnancy. He can suggest it. He can even pay for it. And let's keep it real. Men have paid for it and she still didn't get it. So ain't nothing you can do. You at her mercy at that. Once you get her pregnant, you at her mercy. She gonna do what she want to do. So let's act like it's actually her choice. You can try to influence her, but you can't. If she want to keep it, she gonna keep it. If you want to get rid of it, you can say whatever you want to say. She gonna get rid of it. It is what it is. So I think, it's probably a wise idea to ask at some point, how come black women like having so many pregnancies terminated? Why do they like it? Because you would think, and that's just my point of view. Not that it really is just my point of view, but you would think that black women wouldn't want to necessarily go through the process of going somewhere to talk to some people, make an appointment to, get up on some table at some particular point in time, open up their legs so strangers can take, instruments and put them all up in their vaginas and start snatching out kids. When you think about that, as a man, it don't sound appealing. Because I'm being realistic, y'all. Now, have I been in the office when somebody terminated a pregnancy? No, I ain't been in the office. But I got a little common sense. I'm a little smart. So when she go in there and they perform these acts, what's probably happening? Because I ain't been in there, I ain't seen it. Okay. So I gotta use my common sense. My common sense says a lot of this is some woman sitting up on some table. She gotta, spread it out for all the doctors and the nurses, whoever they're doing the do. They're gonna have to take some form of instrument. Okay. And I'm not saying this is the way to do it every single time, but this is what makes sense to me as an outsider. You know what I'm saying? I'm the outsider. I don't know what's happening in the office, but I'm gonna tell you what makes sense to me. They're gonna take something and jam it up her vagina. Okay. And they gonna jam it far enough in there so they can grab hold to some fetus. Okay. And they're gonna have to pull that fetus out. It don't sound like a pleasurable thing to do. It don't sound that way. Now I've heard some crazy stories. Sometimes the baby come out, but the baby start crying. Okay, so, maybe that mess with women, maybe it don't. It is what it is. But so you would think from a procedure standpoint, it's probably not the funnest thing to do. It's not the funnest thing to do. Okay. But hey, who am I to determine what somebody else thinks fun is? From my perspective, just doesn't seem like a fun thing to do. So why have so many of them? Now, I've seen many women talk about the fact that they do not want to use, or they don't like to take birth control. It's just not their preference. It's not their preference. Matter of fact, I've even discovered, and this is something, men need to be aware of. I've discovered that a lot of black women take birth control in order to get pregnant. And I know offhand that wouldn't make sense to you, but this is what happens, y'all. If a woman starts taking birth control to supposedly not have a baby, let's say she's been taking it for a while, well, she can stop taking the birth control and then she'll become basically extra fertile. So she'll tell a guy, that, I use birth control, but then she'll stop using birth control without telling the guy that she stopped using birth control. Now she's a little more fertile than she would normally be. And then what happens? Next thing you know, she's pregnant. Interesting thing to do. Now, again, we cannot control what women do. This is their choices. Now, I got somebody backstage. I'll let you come up in a minute. You got to chill for a hot second. But I'm going to let you get the mic and do your thing. So now, as men, at some point, we got to ask some questions like, why are you doing all this? If black men use condoms more than anybody else, okay, because that's what they say, y'all. We use condoms the most. The people who study this stuff say black men use condoms more than anybody. And we've gotten to the point where more than half of black men are single and childless. Okay. But then you got the black men who only have kids for marriage. Now, of course, there is some black men out there who've they've had some kids with somebody else and then they got married. Things like that are true. But as a black woman, it's hard to get a black man to give you a seed. And for some reason, we as black men, we don't want to recognize that. Black men don't seem to like having babies with black women. Now, I'm just saying this is just from a number standpoint. Okay? We just telling what the truth is. For the numbers say black men ain't that interested in having babies with black men. I mean, with black women. Black men don't want to have babies with black women. Sex with them, that's one thing. Having a child with them, whole different story. So, black women have had so many abortions, though. Well, hold on, we want to say something else. They've terminated so many pregnancies, though. So what is it that they get out of terminating pregnancies? Because they don't like using birth control. They make a bunch of arguments about how it's going to mess with their body. It mess with their figure sometimes. And see, this is the thing. As a man, you can't really argue against what some woman's saying is going to happen with her body. You make these arguments, but they pretty much going to fall on deaf ears. If you say, hey, look, you my woman, use some birth control, and she say, no, I don't want to use birth control, what you really going to do? You stuck with whatever decision she want to roll with, or you just got to drop her. Now, if you just drop her, people going to say, well, you're being petty. That's not how relationships work. It's supposed to be give and take. Now, you can say all that, but at the end of the day, as a man, you got to do what's best for you. So if you're dealing with a woman who don't want to use birth control, yes, it is your right as a man to leave her where she at. And you know what? That's not a message that a lot of people push to black men. No, it's cool for you to say, I don't want to engage with her. I would like to, but I don't want to have no kids with her, at least not now. So, therefore, you got to use birth control. Now, if she said, well, I ain't going to use birth control, as a man, all I can do is say, that's her decision. I got to do what's best for me, regardless of what decision she makes. So if she says she's not going to do it, I got to expect she's not going to do it. And I'm out of there. Now, people can say, well, but you can still use a condom, though. Yes, I can. But what if the condom breaks? Then what? Let's be realistic. Everybody gonna say, hey man, you supposed to strap up. Well, I did strap up. Okay, so now the condom break. Well, if the condom break, don't nobody care. Hey man, that's on you. That's on you. The condom broke, that's on you. Okay, well, if it's on me, then I'm gonna remove myself from the situation. Oh, well, you don't want to abandon her. You know what I'm saying? No. The condom could break, and I have to say, hey, as a man, if the condom broke, that is on me. And because it's on me and she don't want to use any level of birth control, just can't have sex with her. And then people will try to shame you as if somehow you came to the wrong decision. No, player, that's how the game go. You say you ain't using no birth control, I'm up. So I ain't gonna even bother with you. Okay? I'm not gonna get into it with you. I ain't finna be arguing with you. And you know what I ain't finna do? I ain't finna be somewhere trying to talk to no judge about how much money I'm supposed to turn over to some woman because she told me out her own mouth that she ain't using birth control. Hey, your body, your choice, right? Your body, your choice, right? Okay, cool. So let me remove myself from the situation. You know? Now, I'm not going to act like other men ain't figured this out because obviously, again, as I said, more than half of black men are now single and childless. So it ain't like some other brothers ain't figured it out. They may not figure it out the way I figured it out, but they figured it out. You know, and I'm going to say, shout out to all those men. Now, this is the thing, y'all. Black women know about condoms. It's not like they don't know. They have over 30 forms of birth control that they can use. All right? Now, they can sleep with men being responsible. They can sleep with men being irresponsible. That's their choice. See? You can be a guy with a job and she can sleep with you. You can be a guy without a job. She can sleep with you. You can be a guy who's rich. She can sleep with you. You can be a guy that's poor. She can sleep with you. You can be a man with a plan. She can sleep with you. You can be a man without a plan. She can sleep with you. So who black women sleep with is on them. Now, black women tell a lot of stories about men and how terrible these men are. And then they say, well, I didn't want to have a baby by this man because he's a terrible person. And surface level, it sounds okay. Why would you want to have a baby by a terrible person? I get that. Okay. I wouldn't tell you to have a baby by a terrible person. But a lot of times they try to push this and they don't want you to think about this. Why'd you get pregnant by the terrible person then? I ain't saying you should have a baby by a terrible person. But if you view him as a terrible person, why are you getting pregnant by the terrible person? See, as a woman, all you got to do is say, look, we can do this thing because I want it. I want to have the bedroom. I want to do the bedroom ball dance. I want to do it, but I think you're kind of a terrible person, so I don't want to get pregnant by you. And she could just tell a man to use a condom. See, now he's stuck right there. He got to go get the condom just to get the draws. She ain't got to pay a dime. And then on top of that, she can use her own birth control, the one she chooses to use. But again, y'all, even though there's over 30 forms of birth control, black women consistently say that they're uncomfortable using birth control. And then some of them will say their medical reason they're uncomfortable doing birth control. Now, see, I'm a man. What can I really argue with about her not using birth control? I can't make her do it. I can't make her do it. So I'll just walk away. Okay, cool. You're not going to do what you got to do. I got to roll out. I can't make her use it. Okay, I can't watch her all the time to see if she's taking the pill or not taking the pill. I ain't got time for all that. So what do a lot of black women do? Because there are men who will say, well, I just ain't going to hit it. Well, then they'll start messing with some men that they believe they shouldn't have a baby by, because they'll say that after they're pregnant. Well, why'd you get pregnant by him? See, what a lot of people don't want to say is that, well, the better black men refuse to have sex with me because I won't use birth control. And you don't hear people saying that, even though it's clearly true if we look at the numbers. And again, it's her body, her choice. I can't make you use birth control. All I can do is wear a condom. That's it. Okay. So, I got to do my part. And if I get stuck, I'm stuck. So what I'm going to do? I ain't got time to worry about her like that, y'all. And that's just an attitude that a lot more black men need to just be able to take on openly. Because the thing is, they like killing the children. And I know that's kind of, people will take that as that's mean to say, but no. If we look at the facts, that's what seems to bear out. They like killing children. Because when they get pregnant by non-black men, I ain't never heard of them. I ain't never heard of a black woman getting pregnant by a non-black man, and she ended up terminating the pregnancy. I ain't never heard of it. Now I got a guest here in the back. I'm finna give him the mic, but before I put him on stage and give him the mic, I'm gonna go over the rules, y'all. From time to time, we gonna go over the rules so people will know what's going on. And I don't want people coming up here and acting like they don't know how to operate over here at the Roger Report Live. So we gonna tell them the rules from time to time. Okay. All right. To be on the Roger Report Live as a guest, there's gonna be some rules you gotta follow. All right. So rule number one: no talking over the host. That would be me, of course. That would be me. All right. Rule number two, stick to the subject of the show. Hey, y'all, a lot of times y'all come up here, you want to talk about all kinds of stuff, but it ain't the subject of the show that we do in that particular day. Save that for the day we're discussing that particular thing. You may have some great points. You might be really smart. People might be able to learn from you, but save it for the day we're actually talking about that thing. Okay? Save it for that day. We don't want to hear your thesis on whatever if that ain't the subject of the show. All right. Number three, be respectful to others as they speak. Don't come up here acting like you better than anybody else. We ain't gonna play that game around here. Okay. You can talk, but you gotta let the other people talk too. And whatever you say, if we gonna treat you like you somebody, then I expect you to treat everybody else like they somebody too. Number four, everyone is afforded a 2-minute uninterrupted opening statement. Use it wisely. So you got 2 minutes to get your roll off. Okay. Be smart with how you do it. Okay. Be smart with how you do it. And asking people to be wise with their 2-minute opening statement shouldn't be a bad thing amongst Black America, because that's mainly who comes to speak here. All right. Number five, different opinions are welcome, but we must remain respectful at all times. Y'all, just because you disagree, I'm asking y'all, don't act like a baby on my show. There's a lot of other places where you can act like a child. Just go somewhere else to act like a child. On my show, just because you don't agree with somebody, I'm going to say, please act like an adult anyway. All right? Just is what it is. Number six, keep the cursing to a minimum. Look, y'all, I don't want no cursing on here because I want people to be able to share this information, share these shows with their children. Okay? Yes, there are adults talking on here, but I want people to be comfortable enough to share this with their children. So stop making it a situation where they got to think, well, see, I would share it with my kids, it's good stuff, but them niggas is out here cursing and acting a fool. Stop doing that. Okay? So I prefer no cursing at all, but we just going to say keep the cursing to a minimum. Okay? But I prefer you don't even curse at all. All right? So those are the rules over here at the Roger Report Live. You know, people are welcome to, you know, add their 2 cents to whatever subject we're talking about that day. I got a new guest. I'm not familiar with the new guest, but Mashawn Flip seems to be the name. Mashawn Flip, you got the mic. You got 2 minutes. Rock it. Go and rock the mic, brother. Go and rock the mic.
Oh, that's all I get is 2 minutes? Okay. That
No.
sounds cool.
You got a 2-minute opening statement. Then you can be part of the conversation because other people may come. Well, go ahead and rock it, sister, because now that I hear the voice, sounds like a sister. Go right ahead, though.
So what I wanted to say is, without demonizing our strong Black women, the choices we make, and it's all about choices. But we got to make the right choice so we can have what? You want to have a proper, righteous outcome, a successful outcome. So when it comes to condoms and stuff, I mean, for you to say that they love to abort children, you know, they always say it takes two to tango. So if the Black woman love to abort children, then why is the Black men playing along the role along with it? Because the choice is on them also. Okay. Yeah, so they should be using condoms if you like sex, but I'm one to promote. As I got older, I'm not going to lie to you, you know, the marriage thing, that's just it. Who wants to have sex without the responsibility of marriage? Then what do? You be celibate. You don't have sex until you meet the one you want to marry. And so, see, when you say that, I guess that's really a struggling choice in your brain for a man to operate that way. And so that's my under 2 minute statement. Thank you.
Now, I just wonder, do you realize you don't make sense? Do you realize that, or is this like what's really in your heart? Or are you just saying something to get a reaction? What's the
No,
situation as far as that?
because sex is what was sex? Why did God create
Well,
sex?
no. I mean, before you get off and all that, I just want to know, is this really what's in your heart that you wanted to really say? Because some people just say stuff because they think they're gonna get somebody to react or start yelling or shout. Is this what you really mean? Are you quote unquote rage baiting, as someone would say, or is this like really what your stance is? It's
I
your
am
first time.
totally
It's your
against,
first
hold
time
up.
here.
I'm totally against abortion,
No,
number
no,
one.
hold
But
on.
we got to get to the
Hold
root of the
on,
issue.
hold on.
Yes, that's what I want to say.
Oh, that's all. That's all I'm trying to get out you. Okay, now, first of all, welcome to the show because you're new. I didn't welcome you, so welcome to the show because you are new. Okay,
Thank you. Hey, everybody.
now I'm gonna say what you said don't make sense because men don't terminate pregnancies. That's something women do. Okay, women get pregnant and they terminate pregnancies. If women don't want to get pregnant, they can be celibate. No one forces them to get. Matter of fact, not only do we not force women to get pregnant, if we find out a man forced a woman to get pregnant, we will literally lock him up. It's rules against that in this country. Now, it may be some other person in the world. Maybe they just go around letting men impregnate anybody. In here, America, let us find out that you forced some woman into sex and got her pregnant. We locking you up. That is reality. So women are getting pregnant by choice. So at the end of the day, since women are getting pregnant by choice and women are terminating pregnancies by choice, I don't even understand you saying something about what men are doing. The men aren't terminating the pregnancies. The women are. It's not even a man thing. A man can't terminate a pregnancy. The best he can do is be the guy performing the procedure that terminates the pregnancy. He cannot terminate a pregnancy because he cannot get pregnant. Do you get that?
Do you get
No,
that
no,
it
no.
still takes
You can
two?
ask a question,
No.
but answer mine first. Do you get that?
The responsibilities on both
You,
partners.
you can answer a question or whatever, but if I ask you a question, just answer the question, then you can say what you want to say. We're going to be respectful here. I ask you a question. Do you get that?
That is the woman who's pregnant who can terminate the pregnancy.
Only
Yes.
a woman can have a pregnancy terminated.
Right. Because the man can't get pregnant.
Exactly. So you said this stuff about men as if they get pregnant. Men don't get pregnant. And see, at my show, we don't play the pretend game. I'm not gonna pretend men have an ability to get pregnant because they can't. Only a
But
woman
men
can get
has the
pregnant, which means
ability
only a
to
woman
impregnate
can. No, hold on. Only a woman can get pregnant, and only a woman can terminate a pregnancy. And women don't have to get pregnant by anybody. So if they don't want to keep get pregnant, they can just not get pregnant. That has nothing to do with me. Do you understand that?
No, I don't. Because I'm going to say,
So,
this
so
is what
you
I'm thinking.
as a woman, women have to get pregnant. That's what you're saying now. Yeah, I mean, I want you
No,
to
I'm not
realize what
saying
I want.
no.
No. I want you to realize what you are saying because you are saying that. I
I'm gonna
literally
say
just
what I
said
want to
women.
say,
If women
and I
don't want to
very
get
rarely. I
no,
know what I'm saying.
hold on. I just said women only get pregnant if that's something they want to do, and they don't have to get pregnant. When you say no, that means you disagree with that statement, which is now you saying women are getting pregnant when they don't want to get pregnant. You can't say no to that statement and not agree to something different.
First of all, that's a complicated statement. Number one, it's
It's
not
not
a
that
yay or
complicated.
nay. You
What's
know
so
why?
complicated
Because,
about women get
hold
pregnant when
on.
they want to?
Listen, you can be in a situation where you are on birth control and you are using protection and still get pregnant. In those situations, those are exceptional. That's why I talked about celibacy.
Well, okay,
And
so hold on.
okay,
So basically, you're using
it comes with rules.
you're basically using some type of extreme thing that don't ever really happen. Cause now I know you might be new here. I talk about all the time about how I can find you a man with no legs. I know somewhere out there's a man who don't have legs. He exists. And if I look hard enough, I can find that guy with no legs. And that's basically what you're presenting. You're presenting the man with no legs. Yeah, there's someone out there who was on birth control as the woman. And then the man used the condom on top of it, and they still ended up pregnant. Well, he still ended up getting her pregnant, even though he was using the condom, and even though she was using birth control. I'm not gonna say it ain't ever happened, but you're presenting the man with no legs at this point. We're talking about something
Okay,
that's so
so that's a low
infinitesimal.
percentage.
It's
So
not a
that's
low
why
percentage, it's an infinitesimal percentage.
I mentioned that because of the comment that you said. But it's still, if the man don't want to have a child,
A man,
but he
this
wants to have
what does a
sex.
man have to do with terminating a pregnancy?
If you don't get the woman pregnant, you don't have
What
to
does
worry
a
about a
man have
pregnancy
to do with
being
terminating a
terminated.
pregnancy? We're not
Don't get the
talking about
woman pregnant.
we're not talking about the man terminating the pregnancy because he don't do that. We're talking about women
Right. I
choose to
agree.
terminate pregnancy. What does that have to do with a man?
Because you talk about the men don't make a decision. The man is not
Men
responsible.
cannot decide whether a woman terminates a pregnancy or not.
Men can decide who they impregnate.
We're not talking about a woman getting impregnated. We're talking about people terminating pregnancies. Do
If
you know the
there's no
difference between those
pregnancy,
things?
if there's no pregnancy, you don't
Do
have to
you
worry
do you
about the women
do you
terminating.
understand? Do you
I
understand
understand
that getting
clearly.
pregnant is a different act than terminating a pregnancy? Do you understand that? Because you're talking as if you don't know what the difference is. We're talking about people terminating pregnancy. We're not talking about people getting pregnant. Do you get that?
Do
Now,
you get what I'm saying?
you're talking about a different subject matter that ain't today's show subject. Today's
Yeah.
show
Okay.
subject is about women terminating pregnancies. That's what the show subject is about. So only thing to talk about when it really comes down to people getting pregnant, why did woman get pregnant? She was going to terminate it.
Because you're demonizing the woman.
No. Listen to that question. I'm gonna ask this question. Let you think about it. I'm gonna read this super chat. I'm gonna let you
You
think about this question.
said
Why
that
did
Black
she get
women love
pregnant?
to
No.
abort their
Listen to what I'm
babies.
saying because I want to make it clear to you because you're a new guest and I want people to understand your point of view. Why did she get pregnant if she was gonna terminate the pregnancy?
Okay,
Now, just
so I'm
hold
looking
on.
what you posted.
Think about that. Think about that. I said I'm
Okay,
gonna read the super
this
chat.
is different. I'm
Ma'am,
looking at
listen,
what you posted.
ma'am, I'm trying to be nice to you. You're not listening. It's hard to be on a talk show where you're not listening. Okay, I'll let you get stuff out, but you do got to listen. Okay, now I get it. You're a woman. You probably talk to black men on a regular basis, and you're probably a very disrespectful person normally. But today, you're gonna have to be respectful to be a guest on the show.
I'm
So
not
listen.
disrespectful,
Ma'am,
so
I'm
you
not
threw a
asking your
shot at
opinion.
me.
I'm not asking you for your opinion. I already told you what you was. I don't need your opinion about what you are. I know who you are because you
Oh,
own the
I
show.
know who
So
I
what
am, and I don't need
what
you to
I'm
tell
telling
me
you,
who I am.
ma'am, shut up. You're on my show. You're my guest. I'm trying to have a conversation with you. You're gonna be respectful here, or you're not gonna be here. So shut up. Because now you're making me be mean. I'm trying to not to be mean. Shut up when I'm talking. I'm the host. When I talk, you shut up. That's how I go here. If that's a problem for you, you don't need to be here. Now we can have a nice conversation, or you can continue trying to disrespect me like you normally do to people. Because you're up here, you don't know me, I don't know you, so you're treating me how you normally treat others. That's what you're doing. We're going to be real about that. We're not going to pretend over here. Now, shout out to Kunguru. He says, for all we know, the man wanted the child and she denied him that opportunity without his consent. Happened to me. Shout out to you, my brother. Shout out to you. Yes, that could definitely be the case. But it doesn't make a difference if it's the case or not, because the man can't do anything about it. If she wants to terminate a pregnancy, he can't stop her. Not legally, not in America. Okay. So now, ma'am, I got other guests coming up too. So I'm gonna tell you right now, we can have a great conversation. You can be here for the rest of the show and all that, but we're not gonna play the disrespect game here. Okay, we're not gonna do that here. You don't have to like it, but that's just how it's gonna go here. Okay. Now, Chef Mike has come up. Chef, I believe I know why you might be coming up, so I'm gonna let you go first, and then we'll get into don't be a cunt. So Chef Mike's Roundtable, you have the floor, my good sir. You have the floor.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you happen to find yourselves on this We Don't Do That Over Here Wednesday. Roger, how you doing? First of all, I want to say hello to everyone on the panel. Give respect to everyone on the panel. I did come up, and Roger, you do know why I came up. We serve cornbread with our soup. We don't serve crackers. Now you take and you do what you will with that piece of information, sir, and I'm gonna drop back down.
Okay.
Have a great rest of the show.
Okay. Well, you know what? It's a thin line. That's all I'm gonna say, brother. Since if you letting it be on me, it's a thin line. And I think, at least for the moment, she done caught a clue about we not gonna play them games over here, because she did stop. So she stopped. You know what I'm saying? It'd be nice to have women participate in this subject matter. It's just I can't have them participate if they're gonna be disrespectful. We can't do that. So
One
thing
that I want to let you know, the reason that I came up is because when I hear you yelling, screaming, and shut up when I'm talking, that lets me know the conversation has devolved to a point where it's really just a back and forth argument. We can't have that on the Roger Report Live. We cannot have that going out live on the stream. This is a respectful platform. We sit here, we have conversations that are in depth, we challenge each other, and we respect everybody's opinion. We don't do the snide comments here and there, and we don't do this passive aggressive nonsense. Those are the rules. Roger read the rules to the panel. Please abide by the rules. Thank you very, very much. You all have a great rest of this conversation.
All right. Appreciate you, Chef. Appreciate the real talk. Okay. And ma'am, I know you don't know, but Chef can have anybody kicked off at any moment. So I'm trying to save you, okay? So let's be respectful. We want you to get your point across, but Chef ready to start throwing people out. That's basically what he's saying in a nice way. And I'm trying to save you, okay? Because I want you to be able to make your points. But you just got to be respectful. That may not be something you're used to. It's not up to me to worry about what you think. I'm just telling you how it's going, okay? You on the thin line right now, okay? So please don't mess this up. All right. Now we got two other guests, so I'm gonna let them get their opening statements in, and then we'll flow back in conversation where you can chime in with the rest of us. All right. Don't be a cunt. You got the mic, brother.
Happy Wednesday, Roger. Happy Wednesday to everybody. Except they can't understand normal thinkers. These people, you can't win with them. You can't coach with them. You can't play with them. Can't do nothing with them. Okay? And to all those who believe that it's always Jermaine's fault, it sucks to be you. It sucks to be a victim. When. It's always me. It's always Jermaine. Jermaine made me do it. Jermaine nutted in me. Jermaine didn't use protection. Jermaine forced me to the hospital. Jermaine forced me to do it. Jermaine. It's always Jermaine. And I'm Jermaine. And since it's always Jermaine's fault, I guess Jermaine gonna have to drag you back to normal civilization where you won't have no rights and we're going to control you. You fuck up, it's our fault. You do good. Oh no, when you do good, it's because you're strong, independent, you're a woman and you're better than men. But when you mess up, it's Jermaine. Ergo, Jermaine going to have to control every aspect of your life. Thank you.
Now I'm gonna say this. Shout out to Mark Bennett, who, I get it. You don't like me. Because there are people who don't like me, y'all. Believe it or not, as crazy it is, there are people who don't like me. This is one of the people who come regularly that don't like me. Now he say Roger has no women or a social life. This is all the evidence needed. He absolutely doesn't talk to people like this in his real life. How do you know? Think about that. How do you know? Guess what, brother? Just like I pointed out about her, people usually go to their real selves, especially when you do something at a prolonged period of time. So guess what? The evidence you see is how I talk to people every day, because it's who I am as a person. I'm not saying people can't be fake, but guess what? When a little heat get on most folks, even if they're being fake, they're gonna revert back to their real selves. You didn't make an intelligent statement because you just want to be mad at me. Put your thinking cap on, bro. It's okay. It's okay to be a thinker over here, y'all. Okay, it's not cool to be a person that doesn't think, and I don't encourage that amongst black folk. People revert to their normal self, especially in heated situations. Put your thinking cap on, please. It's better for everybody that you do so. All right. Let me give the mic for an opening statement to my next guest. The Great Black Reset is here. Go right ahead. And ma'am, once he says his opening statement, then we can all kind of converge in conversation. Not that you can't interject here and there or get conversation in. It's just you have to be respectful when you do it at this show. Okay. I understand a lot of people on, black social media, they don't require women to be respectful, but this ain't gonna be that place. All right, go ahead, Great Black Reset.
Good morning. Good morning. It's an interesting topic you have here, and I think what we're going to find here, just like we did in the videos, is when it's men's fault, whatever it is. When we do something out of line, it's easy for people to say, "Hey, it's the man's fault." When it's something that a woman is responsible for, it's we, it's us, it's both men and women. This is a consistent thing throughout life, and this is the issue. And regarding the videos, have you noticed there's every kind of excuse, there's every kind of reasoning, there's every kind of solution except for the proper one, which is get married, then have children. They want all these handouts. We need all these programs. We need all these solutions for women and things that are going to benefit women that men are going to pay for, except for the proper solution. Get married, then have children. And take responsibility for uh, terminating your pregnancies. We would be in a much better position than we are today had we not had so many terminated pregnancies. And I'll land my plane there.
Shout out to you, brother. Shout out to you. I'm gonna read the super chat real quick. Shout out to he's turned into my main nemesis, but a good one. Shout out to all my hosts of my times. Shout out to you, brother. He said, I guess folks like trash content. Hashtag why? Why? Hey, I appreciate it, my brother. I do appreciate it. Now, y'all, I do want to remind folks the subject of today's show is abortion liberation, a fight that black women think is worth fighting for. Now, this is the fact. Men don't get pregnant, therefore men can't terminate pregnancies. So at the end of the day, I have to have a conversation that makes sense. I can't talk about what men are doing because they don't terminate pregnancies. Men don't get pregnant and they don't terminate their pregnancies because they never got pregnant in the first place. If a woman wants to terminate her pregnancy, it's her body and it's her choice. It is something she does. So again, if we're gonna throw in getting pregnant, then the only question I'm gonna ask is, why are women getting pregnant if they want to terminate the pregnancies? Because there's birth control. You can make a man use a condom. He don't even got no choice. If you say, look, I'm willing to sleep with you, but you got to use a condom, the man don't even got a choice at that point. He has to comply in order to legally have sex with you. So, Marshawn, I'm going to grant you that a man can want to have sex with a woman. I'm going to grant you a woman can want to have sex with a man. But if she say you got to put a condom on, or if she chooses to use birth control, these are things the man can't really do anything about. If he don't like what she's doing, all he can really do is walk away. So can you speak on the subject without trying to drag a man into something he has zero to do with?
You want me to respond?
I
Can I
mean,
respond?
you don't.
Okay,
We don't have to play the I don't know game. Disrespect comes in our form. We're not gonna play that game over here. I'm trying to let you be a guest. They already want you thrown off, and I'm trying to let you stay.
So before, if they want me thrown off,
No.
okay.
It's not a before. They saw what you displayed yourself to be, and they didn't like it, and I don't blame them. So the thing is, we can have a much better memory about you if you just start acting right now.
So what I wanted to say is to the man who posted his experience about how his woman got pregnant and he aborted the baby without his consent. So I feel sorry for that type of relationship. And I feel that there should be some type of backlash on women at that stage. That there needs to be a conversation held, because I'm not one for abortion. Okay. So I'm an anti-abortionist. That's just me personally. But there are thousands who are for abortions, which to me that's a sad thing. But now, especially in our community, so yeah, the option of a condom. I saw someone in there who said, they don't want to use a condom, because of the experience and the thrill they feel. But sex comes with responsibility, period. And women, it is their choice once they get pregnant. And I think there needs to be, well, they're changing the law now. So women won't have abortions, period. And that is because a lot of white women are for abortions. They feel like they can do what they want to do with their babies.
Well, we're
Chop it
gonna.
up, throw it in the oven, do whatever.
Well, forward, we're gonna say terminating pregnancies, because some people say that using the word abortion can create problems or whatever. So we're gonna say
Oh,
terminating
terminate.
pregnancies.
Okay, I didn't know that.
I don't know if it's even true or not, but that's what we're gonna do for now. Because I ain't gonna look it up no time soon. Just being realistic, so we just gonna do that. Well, you know what I'm saying. So until I finally look it up, we just gonna go with terminating pregnancy. But see, this
Okay.
is the thing. Women want to terminate pregnancies. A lot of black women have a fight about terminating pregnancy. We literally just had a whole election where Kamala Harris was literally running on terminating pregnancies. I want to make it easy for women to terminate pregnancies. Now, I never see black women trying to terminate the pregnancy of a non-black man. Ain't never seen it, never heard of it. Okay. So now, what does this mean? Black women, for some reason, want to terminate black babies. If they get pregnant by a black man, they want to make sure they can always choose to get rid of that baby. So now my thing is, what's your thought process about the fact that black women want to have terminations because they don't have to get pregnant in the first place? So why do you think they want to have so many terminations?
Okay, but you mentioned a racial divide there.
No,
I think
I'm
that
just saying what the facts are.
okay.
Matter of fact, has any guy on the panel ever heard of a black woman terminating a child from a non-black man?
Never.
Wow.
Okay.
Wow, I didn't know that. But I
Okay.
would
So
say
hold,
the
hold on
trust
one second.
factor.
Hold on 1 second. 1 second. To the
Hmm.
chat, and don't read what's in my chat unless I put it on the screen. But to the chat for right now, I'm asking the entire chat: have you ever heard of a black woman terminating a child by a non-black man? If you have heard of it, simply put a 1 in the chat for me. If you haven't heard, just keep doing what you're doing. But put a 1 in there if you heard of a non-black man having a his child terminated by a black woman. And I'll throw it just to be nice for a non-medical reason. I'll say that just to be nice, okay? But has anybody ever heard of that just one time? I'm not even saying it's got to be your friend. Do you know? Did your cousin ever tell you about the guy? Did your cousin ever tell you about the guy that she heard a story about? Her friend of a friend of a friend, and it was a white guy was the father, but they terminated. Have you ever heard of this ever? Just throw a quick one in there if you've ever even heard of it. Now, why people go on, do whatever they do, and don't put the number one because they ain't never heard of it either. Now what we do know is black women are terminating pregnancies from for black children. She black, the dude black. They fighting to be able to terminate these pregnancies. Now you say you anti pregnancy termination, so I mean. So what is going on amongst black women that they're terminating all these pregnancies? Because I mean, I'm not saying they got to have a baby, but why with black men using more condoms than anybody else? So the hardest group of men to get pregnant by is a black man. Why are black women's pregnancy termination so high when black men wear all these condoms?
That's a good question, but I would say back in the day, okay, so
But you
we're
know what?
going back to the
Hold on,
80s,
real quick.
90s, listen, the
Hold
early
on. No, I'm
2000s.
gonna let you say it, but I want to get this out the way because I don't want this to throw things off later. Shout
Okay.
out to all my hoes to monetize. He said, "What the hell is she talking about, tax?" Hey, everybody, be nice to the guests because everybody's my guest. Y'all got to keep that in mind. Everybody's my guest, so everybody be nice. Okay, everybody be nice. If y'all go at her, then you're still going at my guest because she's my guest. So everybody be nice. Okay, go ahead. What you saying, bro? I mean, go ahead. What you saying, sister?
So one of my beliefs is back in the day, it was mainly the men, black men, who would pay for the abortions of black women. And I remember this so clearly. So that was a thing. And so now, today, you mean it's turning around? I just wanted to put that
No,
out there.
no, 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 no. Men pay for men pay to have pregnancies terminated all the time. Men pay for pregnancies to be terminated that don't even get terminated. We're not talking about a cost thing. It's not an issue about cost. The issue is she goes and get the pregnancy terminated. So my question to you is, with all these advancements that we got, all these condoms we got, and all this stuff women can use, because y'all got over 30 forms of birth control, why are women choosing to terminate pregnancies instead of just not getting pregnant in the first place? Because it ain't like we live in a world
True.
where you can't
But I'm
have sex without
saying the
getting pregnant.
mind of a black female has changed from a mind of the black female years ago. I'm looking at the traditions, and I'm looking at the years and why they're thinking the way their mindset is now today is I'm going by what I'm hearing too. And what I'm seeing too, that um, black men are not responsible like other men. And when they look outside their culture, they might see something different. Now, you're asking me what I'm talking about. I'm just going by what they're seeing. But when you look at the Capitol, because I watched the abortionist abolitionists, let's call it that,
Well, no,
and most of them are full of white young women, college women.
I ain't
So
concerned. I'm not concerned with what white folks is doing. I'm just telling you right now, we ain't even concerned with what white folks are doing. But based on what you just said, you're saying this is your mindset because you see black women
Because
saying,
listen,
no,
feminists
hold on, no.
follow,
I'm doing the
they
playback of what
follow.
I'm doing the playback of what you just told me. You
Go
said
ahead.
you've been hearing that black men aren't responsible from black women. So
Mhm.
you're saying, or you're implying, that because black women believe that black men are irresponsible, that they're getting pregnant by those men anyway, and then
Mhm.
terminating the babies instead of just not getting pregnant. Is
That's the way it
that
looks
that's
to me. And that's stupid. Yes, it is stupid, but yep.
Well, you
Why
know
not?
what? At least she
That's why I
summarized it well
said,
at the end. She summarized it well. Go ahead, sis. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
yeah, it is stupid, but I'm gonna tell you, I'm not gonna demonize our people. I just want women to know I'm not trying to demonize you, but let's okay, we're gonna speak the truth, speak the truth. Okay. So that is I'm gonna say that is a selfish move. And this is why said, well, black men have to be careful who they impregnate, who they have sex with beforehand,
okay?
knowing that these women are making these type of decisions. And yes, feminism does spread
Okay, so
because
basically, and
that's
I just
why I
want to make
said
sure.
the mindset
Okay, so basically,
have changed.
what you're saying,
Go
black men
ahead.
should even have sex with black women. That's basically what you're saying. That's what I'm hearing you
I didn't
imply.
say black women
No.
because
I'm
white
saying
women have
no,
abortions
no. What
too.
you said black women are having they terminating all these pregnancies, and we need to consider this when we have sex with them. So because they terminate all these pregnancies, basically black men shouldn't look to have sex with black women because if you want a child, you're probably not going to have one because she's
You're
going to probably terminate.
generalizing to black women. No, that's not what I'm saying. Okay. So what I'm saying is
Well,
to
no.
look at
Hold on.
the
To understand,
mindset
hold
of a
on.
woman.
Okay, I'm a black man. Well, first of all, let me
Hmm.
read this by Inspired Truth Broadcast. Shout out to you, my brother. He say your body plus your choice equals your fault. Makes sense to me. That makes sense to me. I don't know why it don't make sense to other folk, but it makes sense to me. So, and I'm not trying to play. I'm just trying to make sure we're following you. And I'm telling you what I'm hearing being
I'm
implied.
not
You
saying
basically,
it's not the woman's fault because she's impregnated. Yes, once she's impregnated, at that point, it is her fault. Totally.
what I'm saying to you is because this is what I heard you say, and I want to make sure this ain't what
Okay.
you saying. If this ain't what you saying, what I heard you say is black men need to think about the black woman's mindset, and because the black woman has a mindset of terminating the children, basically you should find somebody else to have sex with if you want to actually do it and keep a baby anyway. If you want to keep a baby,
No, first
find
of
another
all, it
woman to
sounds like you're
impregnate.
demonizing black women. They're not the only one having abortions. Okay. Number one. So you could go
What?
somewhere else and get the
Hold on,
same results. I said,
hold on. I'm
look at the
demonizing black men.
mindset of the
Hold
black
on, hold on.
woman.
No. I gotta understand how I'm demonizing black women. All I did is simply state the fact that black men use condom more than anybody else. So the hardest group of men to get pregnant by in this country is black men. Black men, when it comes to impregnating somebody, they impregnate black women more than anybody else. And now the black women are terminating the pregnancies, and somehow this is me demonizing black women because what they're terminating.
No, because you put
How
all
am I
black women in
demonizing
one
them?
category. Because you putting all black women in the category, and
I
that's
haven't
not
said nothing. I ain't said nothing
the
about the
truth.
word. You haven't heard the word all come out my mouth one time.
Because you said black woman, you said
Do
black
you
woman. You
black women?
saying
That's a
men don't
general.
need
Yes.
to have
Hold on,
sex with black women? Is
ma'am,
that
ma'am,
what you're
ma'am,
saying?
ma'am. Hold on. Let me come back to the third grade because I'm not gonna play with people about this. Let's come back to third grade. I did say black woman. That's making a general statement. Is that true or not?
That's general. Yes.
Okay, so now any intelligent person with a poor education in America, because mine was a terrible education, because I got it from a Chicago public school, which I believe at the time when I was in growing up, I think we were literally the worst school system in the entire nation.
Mm.
I believe
So
I believe that. I absolutely believe
now,
that.
I'm not saying it as a brag. I'm just saying that was the reality. That's what I remember. Chicago public schools was being talked about as the worst school system in the nation. Now I know what a general statement is, and I know a general statement does not include everyone unless you specifically say that. Ma'am, are you meaning to tell me you don't understand what a general statement is at your age?
I don't play with words. So
I don't play with words, and that's why I'm asking this question. Because
I
I literally
explained it to
I
you.
literally said to you, you never once heard me say the
Mhm.
word all, and you acted like that was a problem. So because I'm not playing with words, now I got to, now we gonna deal with comprehension. So do you comprehend what a general statement means? Do you comprehend what a general statement is? Because I understand it, and I went to one of the worst school systems in the nation. I get it though. And I literally said to you, you never heard me once say all. So clearly I wasn't talking to about everybody if I didn't say that. Ain't that good enough for any intelligent person to understand?
So let me give you a conflicting. You made a conflicting statement, and I'm going to ask you this question. You said black men are the they use condoms, okay? And so, but black women are having abortions, but you also said that black women are not having abortions by non-black men. That's conflicting itself.
How?
Because if
How?
so, who the hell are they having
Well,
abortions
hold on, real
by
quick,
if
real quick.
black men are
Does
always
did
using
hold on, real
condoms
quick,
and
ma'am,
protecting
real quick,
themselves?
man, real quick, guys. When she said those things, did y'all hear any bit of information that was somehow in conflict? Because
No,
I
it's
didn't
not in
hear
conflict.
anything.
Not at
I mean,
all.
no,
Not
it
at
made
all.
perfect sense to me. I
Okay,
mean,
okay. No, I don't want y'all to go into the conversation. I want to give her a chance to say what she's saying. I just want to make sure that I'm the only person that didn't hear any conflict whatsoever, because I didn't hear the conflict. Just want to make sure that that ain't just me. But go ahead and say what you're saying, ma'am. Go ahead.
they're actually kind of in line,
To
really.
me, if the statement was conflicted, because now it's, well, who they having abortions by? If the black man is always protected, who are they getting pregnant by to have abortions if they're always protected?
Did we say black men are always protected?
They, okay,
You don't know
always.
what a general
You
statement
said
means, do
black
you? Really
men
don't
use
know what a general
condoms.
statement is.
No, you said black men use condoms,
Man, let me help
right?
you. Let me help you,
They're
because
the most
I
ones that use
ma'am, let me help you,
condoms.
because it's not my goal to make black people look stupid. That's not my goal. So let me help you. A general statement means most of the whatever you're talking about. If I go to, if I pick restaurants and I say Red Lobsters are the best seafood restaurants out there, I'm making a general statement. That does not mean you can't go to a quote unquote Joe's Crab Shack and not have a better meal than any other Red Lobster. I'm saying in general, Red Lobster is going to be the best seafood place out there. Doesn't mean every single one is going to hit that. They're gonna try to, but it doesn't mean every single one is gonna hit that. A general statement means most of a thing that you're referring to. You don't seem to understand that. So take that into account and how you're saying whatever. Because ain't nobody said anything about all or every. We're talking about generally. And I said black men are the hardest group of men to get pregnant by because we use condoms more than any other group. That does not mean every black man is gonna wear a condom. Now,
Okay, so let
it
me
should be
just say
somewhat
this to your.
embarrassing that black women get pregnant
Mhm.
so much, because who they getting pregnant by? They're getting pregnant by the guys who don't use the condoms. But from a general standpoint, which means they're getting pregnant by a smaller group of men, which means black women ain't got no standards. All that's true, and none of it conflicts. I don't know how you can't understand that.
Roger, can I ask a question?
Go right ahead, well, you know what? Let me read the super chat, then you got it. Uh, shout out to all my hoes, the monetize. He said, what can I pay to abort this convo? Hashtag losing brain cells.
Damn.
Y'all know why that's so funny to me. I already asked people to be nice, and he said what he said, but I can't accuse him of doing anything to a guest. I can't.
He following your rules, Roger. He following your rules.
Go
Go ahead, usual business. I was going to say something. Go ahead, bro.
Ask your question. Usual business. Go ahead, brother.
Okay. I think you see this phenomenon actually in real life. I can't see your name actually because you're on my phone. But you see this. But this man sharing thing is actually a real, normal phenomenon. You see it through the T app. Recent thing. All the women was like, "Oh my gosh, who you sleeping with?" And then they eventually figure out all the women sleeping with the same dudes, and all of a sudden it got caught, and everybody got quiet about it, and then did nobody say nothing about it again? I mean, it's a well-known thing. I mean, black women kind of be out here just hoeing. It's kind of.
Hey, Roger, read Chef Mike's comment, please.
Okay, you know what? I tried. Look, Chef Mike done said at the Roger Report Live, this is a hindrance to the flow of the show. Not about to tolerate a troll. No soup for Mashawn. Mashawn, you gone. Sorry. I mean, it is what it is. You gone. So
you know how many
when you come in, I'm gonna say when you come in,
thank you.
You're not gonna let me.
Hold on. If Black Rule say you're not gonna let me, so I guess Black Rule. Hey, Chef Mike, this is now she dropped. Now she done dropped. I tried to stop her, but she done dropped.
Okay.
Sorry, sir. Sorry.
Next time, Uru, I'm so sorry. Next time, I'll let the elder get the first kill.
Well, I don't really even think this is about killing. It's just about dealing with the facts. Yeah, I mean, we're living in a society where men can't make a woman do what she don't want to do when it comes to this subject. Black men use condoms more than anybody else. Okay, I'm not saying black women ain't sleeping with basically some of everybody. You know what I'm saying? When it comes to the different types of black men out there, yeah, she's sleeping with different types of men, but it's only so many men that's gonna get her pregnant. And at the end of the day, she's still finding a reason to terminate the pregnancy. And then she say the man was a terrible guy, so I don't want to have his baby. But you knew that before you got pregnant by him. So how did he change from the time you got pregnant to the time you want to get rid of the baby? Like nothing really changed. So at the end of the day, this is crazy to me. And then her best thing was, I'm gonna come up here and somehow say something about men when men don't have anything to do with a woman terminating the pregnancy. We can't make her do it. We can't make her not do it. It's literally husbands that cried because their wife terminated the pregnancy. They literally was begging. I've seen it. Grown man begging, don't terminate my child. Don't do it. Tears in his eyes. She still did. So it's crazy. But Black will go ahead and say what you want to say. And then, and then I'm going to come back to your usual business. Then I'm going to come back to Bad Black Gamer since she is gone. But I'm going to say Black Guru did want to speak to you, ma'am. So if you want to come up so Black Guru can speak to you, hey, it's fine. And Chef Mike, I'm not trying to go against what you say, but the elder was finna say something to it. So, we'll talk about that after the show about how we're supposed to approach that situation in case this comes up again. And shout out to Ryan Decipher. He said hashtag, and thank you very much, my brother. He dropped the 50 ball. He said hashtag nice nasty tax. Hashtag she didn't last long tax. Hashtag bye Felicia tax. Hashtag long little habitual line stubber. Shout out to you, Ryan. Appreciate you, brother. Appreciate you. And sometimes that's all you can do is say bye Felicia, y'all. Sometimes that's all you can do. But Black Rule, go ahead, brother. Go ahead. And thank you, Brian. Thank
you. Yeah, I don't know. I kind of, if you can, well, I guess my question to you, Roger, would be, what was the purpose of bringing her onto the panel?
Well, Black Rule, I really thought that if you just make her, I thought she was really calm down and have an intelligent part of the show, but I don't know who she is. So, to me, she's just a random person. They hit the link.
Okay. All right. All right. Just slow down. I know you're very verbose, so I'm trying to provide some perspective here a little bit. Has she ever been on your panel before?
I'm not sure. I can't say that she has. But she could be somebody I don't necessarily remember.
We don't know. We don't know what brought her here. What moved her to come here? Like, what was her motives? What was her purpose? I used to, particularly when the women would come on the panel, I used to try to, and they were new, I would ask what brought them here. Because, to some degree, I like to approach it as a intelligence process to sort of interrogate their motives and their influences and their perspectives. Because look, you can bring the women here. The women are going to be ignorant about most of what's presented here. I mean, we know that. We know that they're going to miscite or misquote facts, or they're going to be wholly, entirely ignorant of facts. It's going to be a lot of emotion. It's going to be a lot of blame. It's easy to, as you did, sort of readily shoot down most of what she had to say. But that's not, in my view, I don't know if that necessarily helps us to essentially be, in that case, to be sort of reverberating what facts we already know here. That's why when the women are here, I like to try to interrogate their perspective, and I like to ask them questions to try to see if they're capable of some logical conclusions, and let ideally other women observe that process to see if they also are capable of drawing some logical conclusions. Again, otherwise, it's going to always be where they're going to come in these environments, and it's going to be just and you see it on other channels as well, where it's just this sort of clusterfuck of them either lying or emoting or whatever, and the men shooting it down, and it gets kind of heated, and then Chef comes and take their soup. So again, I would ask, just going forward, what's the motive of having them here? Because if it's going to be just like what you did earlier, then I don't know if there's much of any sort of motive for allowing, because most of the women are going to be ignorant. They're going to be ignorant. They're going to be emotional. They're going to blame everything on men. They've all, we're 5 generations essentially in them being bred to be ignorant and blaming everything on black men. So that's very predictable. That's what's going to happen. So if you're going to have them here, try to make some use of their presence. And I think the best use of their presence you can make is to try to expose, to subtly expose all of the weaknesses in their positions, and give the women perhaps the opportunity to reach a similar sort of disposition. And then also at the same time train other men to be able to do the same. So
okay,
that's my evaluation of what happened.
All right, look, I'm gonna say for the future, y'all, this is what we all gonna do. Because what if I don't do it? From here on out, y'all, we gonna do the investigatory work that Black Rule normally does first. So we all gonna make sure that's get done. So if I forget, somebody, hey, let's investigate. Let's ask her how she found the channel, and other quick investigatory questions, like Afro Merchant just kind of put in the chat. He was like, right, next time ask her how they found this channel, opinions of the space, if they're married, have children, etc. So yeah, we're gonna do a little bit of investigate. Now I'm not saying I want us to interrogate the women.
Here's the other thing too. Well, in some cases, an interrogation might be necessary.
It might be.
Here's the other thing too. Well, I'm saying, here's the other thing too. What if she is somebody? What if she is somebody? Then you have an opportunity to potentially magnify your influence. You see what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
I mean, what if she is someone in disguise, so to speak, and she has some following of some sort? It's an opportunity, maybe, again, to magnify your reach and your influence. So,
No, I mean, that's a good thing to be mindful of. Yeah, very good thing to be mindful of. So yeah, we'll definitely do that in the future, y'all. That's gonna be the new protocol, y'all. And shout out to Elder Blood. He said, I hope Roger read my last comment because he did not read my super chat earlier. I think I know why. No, if I just didn't read the super chat, I just missed it. We're gonna go back and find that thing. We ain't gonna never disrespect the money. But shout out to Elder Blood. He said, hell no, they are logical. They killing kids, Black Guru. It would make more sense to go have a logical conversation with Jeffrey Dahmer than trying to have one with the average Black woman.
Jeffrey Dahmer was interviewed. Jeffrey Dahmer was interrogated. His motives, what he did, how he did it, why he did it, all of that was interrogated. All of that was their scores, maybe hundreds of interviews of Jeffrey Dahmer. So regardless of what you think about how terrible you believe them to be, it does not mean they should not be interviewed and possibly even interrogated. In fact, again, you want to expose the motives and the methodology and the mindset and all of that. And you want other people to witness it and then have their logic and their perspective challenged as well. Because she likely represents the mindset of millions of Black women. I'm not saying you're necessarily going to change anybody's minds per se. But I'm saying at least you offer an opportunity for people for some potential of revelation or an epiphany of some sort. But you're extending the possibility of it. Probably not the likelihood of it. But you're extending the possibility of it.
Yeah. Now I'm trying to find. You said that you sent a super chat. I don't know if you just meant a regular chat or a super chat because I'm trying to find a super chat that I missed by you, Elder Blood. So did you say again in what you said, and that's what you meant to say, or did you do a super chat? Because I'm trying to find. I ain't seen one yet, and I want to get these other guests in. And shout out to Sabina Kaliakate. He said all feminists, Roger. But usual business. Go ahead with an opening statement, and then Bad Black Gamer. Let's get you in right after him.
Okay, well, I just wanted to say one thing about the comment that she had made that you are demonizing Black women, or you showing that Black women to be demons or something like that. And I was like, that's not really the truth. If I just kind of hold a mirror up to you and you see a demon or the action that you say that you equate with a demon, then that just kind of means that you just seeing your own reflection and you just don't like the reflection that you see. So I personally don't have no problem calling demons because it's about time we start doing that. I'm done. Thank you.
But I appreciate that because Black Rule, that is why she came up. She did at least tell us that. She said, I came up because you're demonizing women. And I basically kind of asked her, well, how am I demonizing women? By simply reporting on what women are doing, and then she was trying to say something about other groups of women. I'm like, I don't even care about the other groups of women, so at the end of the day, she felt some kind of way because of what Black women were doing in these situations. So that's why she came up. That we did at least get that part. We did at least that part. And ma'am, if you're listening, because Black Guru has elder privilege, and Chef Mike already said it. He said, Black Guru got elder privilege, so he can do that. If you want to come up, you can come back up, and you good to go, because Black Guru would like to speak with you if you are still listening. Now, I understand she kind of left. I'm pretty sure she's a little mad, so she may have turned the channel off. That's very possible, yeah. and y'all know how black women can get. If they can't act in a way that disrespects men, a lot of them get very uncomfortable, which is what I believe we saw here. I think being told she has to respect black men just made her uncomfortable. I was trying to rock with it, but and I'm gonna say I'm giving her some credit. Like she was at least trying to straighten up a little bit, but I think she's just so used to disrespecting black men, it's just hard for her.
I want to give her a little credit. After you explained to her behavior and described it accurately to her, she did made a valiant attempt to be within the rules of the show, and she didn't get openly disrespectful as far as her jargon or nothing like that. And I believe it was a bit of a missed opportunity because I think she would have lasted the whole show once we got past her derailing the show with these questions, because her questions were not they were disingenuous questions, and but I think we could have got her to that point, and I think she probably would have lasted most of the show, but she was derailing it a little bit, but it was worth what Uru was saying to investigate where she come from and all
she
that.
was derailing it in large part because it got confrontational very quickly, and
Right.
she's a female, so she's going to get emotional, which means she's going
Correct.
to start fighting more and more. And now the possibility of having a decent conversation is undermined by the fact that now she's in her female feelings. That's why I like to start with questions that support my position, but I start with questions and see if they're capable of both being logical and being honest.
Right.
Because if they can be logical and honest, then you can have a productive conversation. Now, if they're going to be obviously illogical and especially dishonest, then you can deduce from that you're likely not going to have a productive conversation. In which case, you may want to terminate the connection sooner rather than later.
Yeah. I
But I
wasn't
like to at
expecting
least give them an opportunity.
Right.
Yeah. Go ahead.
I'm sorry. I wasn't expecting productivity. I think what would have came out was that she was being illogical. I don't think she would have ever come onto the side of logic, but I think she had patience enough to try to defend the positions that she was. And in the end, what would have came out was that she kept saying we're demonizing women for telling the truth.
Exactly. It's the
Well,
truth part.
There's certain truths that they do not want made
that's
public.
that's why I like to ask. That's why I ask about definitions. What does it mean to demonize someone? What does that mean? What does that really mean?
Yeah.
Do
Now,
we
shout out to
agree
Elder
as to
Blood.
what that means?
I'm gonna say shout out to Elder Blood. I found the super chat. My bad for missing it. He says when you're dealing with women like this, that Roger is talking to, can there be any questions why they created Sharia law to effectively deal with that BS? Now I'm not gonna lie. I wish I would have saw this when it came.
I did see that. I did see that.
I would have loved to read that while she was on the panel, Elder Blood, just so you know. I would have loved to have read that one. But we will take we'll call it the Black Guru approach when they come up. Because, y'all, I'm going to just say right now, and I've said it before in the past on past channels, I do believe black men should be more confrontational, and that is who I am. I am a confrontational person. I don't look at confrontation as bad. Confrontation is dealing with what you got to deal with when it's time to deal with it. You can deal with it confrontationally in a positive way. You can be respectful while you deal with it. You can be disrespectful while you deal with it. But that doesn't mean you don't confront something head on. And that's just the way I've always been. But I would try to keep that in mind for the purposes of the show.
To my perspective, she did not come off as being hostile. She seemed to be wrong, and she seemed to have obviously a motivation to defend how she was wrong or where she was wrong. But she didn't appear to be mean-spirited. She didn't appear to be hostile. And as Reset said, there was a level of patience with her. And a patient person is capable, very often is capable of being reached in some way. A person who can tolerate and sit through, the discovery of them being wrong, possibly sit through the discovery of them being wrong, is more capable of being reached than someone who is not. And again, if you're going to have her on the panel, other than just telling the next chick she don't know shit, and I mean, what's the value of that? What's the value of that to us? Forget her, forget the women. What's the value of that to us?
But like I said, we're going to take your approach. We're going to call it the Black Guru approach, y'all. That's the approach we're going to take in the future. And if anybody see me not taking that approach, they're allowed to say, hey, we're going to do the Black Guru approach, y'all. That's what we're going to do in the future, just from a general standpoint. We're going to do that with the women in the future. We're going to ask the questions first and try to, get them to be a little bit better than what I would expect them to normally be. I'll just say it like that. Than what I expect them to normally be.
I'm gonna take the blame for this when I primed up Chef Mike to take somebody's soup, and she was a little too close to me, and she got hit. She got hit.
Well,
You're doing the job, bro.
I'm gonna say a couple things too that I'm gonna say was inconsistent even with everything that was going on because but I want Bad Black Gamer to get in here first. So Bad Black Gamer, go on, say what you got to say. I'm gonna say what I say. Then I'm gonna let Red Pill Sleeper Cell get in here. So go ahead, Bad Black Gamer.
Hey, good morning to y'all. Salutes to the chat and salutes to Roger. Thank you for letting me come back on the show, on your broadcast, and put my 2 cents in. I'm going to go ahead and already state what's pretty much obvious to all of us as Black men. Anytime these conversations are very hard to have, especially with majority of Black women, and the reason for that is because if you say anything to them that's not about kissing their ass, they're going to have a problem with it. And they're going to push back on it, because you can't even say nothing negative at all. And you got to be careful with how you say something positive to them. And the reason for that is because I think we all know that Black women have, for the majority, not all, but you'll find that, our women have a low level of disdain, probably a better word, contempt for us as Black men. And to the point where it's like, why Black men are you even talking about Black women? You shouldn't have anything to say about Black women, period. Things of that nature. And we do. I think we most of us know that if it was a white man saying it to them, they might not like it, but they'll show more respect, than they show us. So that's obvious. So that's something I just want to get out and say. I mean, we can interview them and try to do like a interrogation, but we know how that's going to go. You know what I'm saying? But in any case, I want to say what I really want to say before all that happened was women, like you said, Roger. Women if they don't want to get pregnant, they don't get pregnant. You know what I'm saying? A lot of times, I think the real problem with our community is that abortion is looked at as a form of birth control, or instead of like it's at least looked at as the last line of birth control. In a lot of cases, it's looked at as the primary form of birth control for our women. So I think that's why we have a higher rate of that, in our community. Also, we also know that only a majority of Black men don't have children, are childless. And while at that same token, 80% of Black women have children. You know what I'm saying? So that means that there's only about 40% of us, 45, something like that, 49 maybe, of us that are out there having children with women, with the 80% out there having children with. So we all know that, if a woman wants to have a child, she knows how to have a child. She knows, like Nick Cannon, Fuchsia, they know where to look, and this is all women. They know where to look if they want to have a child. They know where the low hanging fruit is. So to try to put this on the men, say, well, this is what men. No. This is what women can control. That they can decide. They decide who gets born in this world every time, all the time. We only exist right now because our mothers decided that we should be born, while maybe our siblings didn't get born. And I'm just gonna land my plane right there and let you guys carry on the show. But great topic, great show. Thank you for having me on.
All right, yeah, and I'm gonna just say let's stick to the subject of the show, not a person who was here and gone. Okay, let's stick to the subject of the show. Shout out to Elder Blood. He said, Roger, please don't turn your show into an Anton Daniel show. I beg you, please don't go down that treacherous path. Well, number one, Elder Blood, we ain't got to mention no other content creators here. You know, I know that's a content creator, and why would I reduce my show to be down to anybody's show? I got the best show on social media. I would never reduce and I'm saying it this way on purpose. I'm never going to reduce the Roger Report Live to being like anybody else's show because I got the best show. I would advise people to try to be more like me. That's what I would advise, you know, and that's just to anybody. So no, I got the best show rocking. We ain't finna change that. But we will, you know, we'll ask a couple questions to try to defuse a woman. I'll say that. We try to ask a couple questions we can kind of defuse a woman. Because if they're gonna be here, we might as well get some production from it. And shout out to my main man, Watson, the Man Cave. He said, Roger, just keep being the Rufus nice guy. I ain't got no plans on changing, y'all. I ain't got no plans on changing. So y'all ain't got to worry about that. But we can ask them a couple questions to hopefully defuse them a little bit, because at the end of the day, I'm gonna do what I want to do. Now, in the past, I've kind of let some women get off because I was trying. What I was really doing was creating a record that even if you're nice to them, they're gonna be disrespectful. So I would just kind of let women get off sometimes. It just kind of depends on what the subject of the show is. See, I don't mind them coming at me because I don't regard them anyway. You know what I'm saying? So like nothing. What they say don't really matter to me for the most part. Most women ain't gonna really say too much of anything that's gonna matter because that's just how they live their lives. So I can take it better than other people can. A lot of people, they gonna get upset because they had a woman. I can kind of let some stuff go for the purpose of the show, and for the purpose of the show in the future, I can let certain things go and approach it a little bit different. You know, because if it's gonna help the show, that's the main concern for me. That is the main concern for me. Shout out to all my hosts of monetize. He say, who the hell want to be like Roger? Panel, chat, hey brother, it's like it's almost like being like Mike, man. If you're gonna do the thing, you might as well do it the best. Okay, if you're gonna do the thing, you might as well do it the best. So if you was trying to play ball, I would tell you to be like Mike. But if you're gonna have a show on social media, I would definitely tell you to be like me. Just is what it is, brother. I ain't putting that one down. I'm standing on that one. But let me get some of these other guys in here. Red Pill Sleeper said you ain't had a chance to speak, and we got Jado that came up. So I'm gonna let y'all do your thing.
I'm just here to give a PSA. You got 82 watching and 42 likes. This is not the government cheese line. We're not giving out Section 8 or EBT. When you come here, you have to contribute. You hit the like button or the dislike button. Some people may feel comfortable contributing on the panel. Some people have money to hit the super chat. But when you come in, you have to hit the like button. I know some of y'all like to wear your best friend's clothes because you can't afford none yourself to show off. Nothing is free here. Thank you.
Red Pill Sleeper said putting the hammer down. Hey, appreciate the love, brother. I appreciate the love. Jado, you got the mic, my brother. You got the mic.
Hey, what's good, Roger? What's going on, fellas? Everybody in chat, replay gang as well. I guess I'm gonna try to take a different approach, Roger. I thought that the background to your show today was very, very, very interesting, man. I see a lot of redness around the silhouette or the shadow or whatever of this woman. And the eyes, it's no pupils or iris or nothing. It's just redness, right? And and that crown is cracked, it's broken, it's fractured or whatever, man. Very, very interesting. And I heard some of the interaction with the lady that was up here previously. But and you guys, a word I get triggered, man. You guys were saying demonize, 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 man. And I think this is important. I think with this, and this doesn't cover everything, but with black women getting abortions, man, I think they get off to it on a ritualistic level to where they feel like they can play God, or they usurp God's authority to where they can say, "Hey, I'm harvesting life within my womb, and I can take it whenever I decide to." You know what I'm saying? And I think they get off on the emotional roller coaster that will cause as well too, so they can feel guilty and shameful on a certain level, not enough to keep them from doing it, and also they can point the finger at the bad black man that got them pregnant or whatever, and or maybe God that put them in a position to where I can't take care of this child or whatever. Supposedly, this is just what they're thinking. I'm not saying this is the truth. And I think they get off on that emotional role. It's like a hit of heroin or crack or whatever type of drug, man. It's a up and then it's a down, and they get off to all of it. And they can feel, and I think it's their way of trying to, usurp God's authority and the black man's authority on top of that. You know what I'm saying? And I just on a spiritual level, this is just what I suspect. I ain't got no statistics to back my claim up or no degree. You know what I'm saying? But this is what I suspect. And I guess I'll end right there. Thanks for having me up, brother.
Well, appreciate you. And I'm gonna say this, y'all. I mean, the woman came up and said demonizing. All I did was talk about the fact that black men wear condoms more than anybody else. So we the hardest group of men to get pregnant by. The guys who wear the condoms, it's harder to get pregnant by those men than somebody else. I pointed out the fact that black women don't like using birth control. Every single conversation I've ever had in my life about black women and birth control, they've always been dead set against it. They'll come up with medical reasons, they'll come up with personal reasons, but ain't none of them been cool with it. So far, okay, I'm not saying they won't change in the future, but so far, and I've been having this conversation when I was still in high school, and even as girls, they said they don't want to use birth control. So, and that's why I tell men, if you see a black woman with birth control, she's more than likely trying to get pregnant. You take that stuff for a few months, then you stop. You don't tell a guy, and she's more fertile than she would normally be. Boom, she gets you comfortable enough to stop wearing that condom, and now she got you. It is what it is. Now y'all do what y'all want with the information. I'm just telling you what's real. So I've said these different things, and then black women don't have to get pregnant. I said in this country, we'll lock you up for forcing a woman to get pregnant. That's what we would really do. So black women ain't got to come up pregnant. And then she said, I'm demonizing them. Now, my thing is, all I did was report on behavior that black women do. She started trying to say something about black men. And I just made it clear, black men can't terminate a pregnancy. He can't. He don't have that ability. So she saw these things as demonic. I just want to point this out. I want to make sure everybody clearly got this. She's the one that saw the behavior as demonic. That's why she said you're demonizing. She saw it as demonic behavior. What do black men got to do with demonic behavior?
That's why I would have asked her, what does she mean by demonic? I would have asked her that. And then I would have simply said, just how much, okay, we're saying facts here. Does telling the truth about the wrong, does a mother telling the truth about the wrong that her child does, is she demonizing that child? if you break into a bank and steal money, or are caught and arrested and prosecuted, are you being demonized? If you cry fire in a crowded room and there is no fire, and you're severely punished and publicly castigated for that, are you being demonized? Does telling the truth about the wrong you do or have done, does that equate to being demonized? And then now, when you're asked that question, you got to earnestly, evaluate what that means. I mean, there are a lot of things that we've all done wrong, and we've been held to account for. And most of us, well, no, we're not being demonized. We're being punished for or at least our behavior is being cited. Our misbehavior is being cited. So does your misbehavior being cited equal to being demonized?
And let me say, shout out to Ryan the Cypher one more again. Appreciate you, my brother. He says, watching black men engage with black women is like watching John Constantine engaging with half demons and angels. We always have to have that holy shotgun at the ready when addressing the truth. No reachbacks. Hey, appreciate you, my brother. Appreciate you. And I think you have a point. Yeah, we kind of have to. And I'm just going to say, I'm dealing in a subject matter today that literally does not include black men. Now, she made an effort to try to drag black men in something that literally don't include them. Because I'm going to make it plain for anybody who missed it. Men don't get pregnant. Therefore, men can't terminate pregnancies. And she talking, well, what if they, why the men get pregnant? The man come on a baby. And that don't mean he going to have one. And that's why I was asking her, when she's saying we got to think about how women are viewing things. So basically you saying, if you want a child, mess with somebody else. Oh, I ain't saying that. Well, I mean, what you saying then? You can't have it both ways, y'all. And that's just a thing that we as black men got to really start. When you do talk to black women, you can't let them live on both sides of the fence. You can't tell me I can't get them pregnant and then tell me I got to think about their cause and then think about their mindset. And then if I think about their mindset, what the only fair conclusion I can come up with is they like to terminate black pregnancies. They get pregnant by a black man, they like to terminate the pregnancy. They get pregnant by a non-black man, they don't seem to terminate any of those pregnancies. And I'm just throwing it out there because out of all the times I hear black women talking about medical reasons or it's just whatever they gonna make up to say why they terminating some pregnancy, this stuff ain't never included when it's a non-black man.
Well, can I say something, Roger?
Go ahead.
Yeah, I definitely want to say something to him too.
I think also when they go to the chop shop that they're sacrificing the actual man and effigy through the fetus. Since they cannot unalive the particular man, they would do it to the fetus. And it's
That's
like
interesting. I see. I ain't even thought about that one, but that makes a whole lot of sense. I can't kill him. I'm gonna kill his baby instead.
That's literally.
Didn't think about that.
Now, see, this is why I kept actually saying it. Y'all didn't hear it when I said it the first time. I said, well, if we actually turn the mirror to you and you see a demon in the mirror, that's nobody else's fault. That's because that's literally because you see what you are. That's why I said that in the beginning.
Mm-hmm. And I'm gonna say shout out to Jethro Mullet. He said I'm pro-abortion. This ain't even a conversation about whether you're pro-abortion or not. And I'm gonna say she was being a little inconsistent because she said she is pro what you call it, because it ain't pro-choice. Pro-choice means you can get rid of the baby, but she's anti-abortion. I just say that for now.
Pro-life or anti-abortion.
She's pro-life. That's what they call it, pro-life. Now she says she pro-life, but you come up here to argue that women should still maintain a position where they get to just get rid of babies. You know what I'm saying? It's like if you pro-life, then why are you saying men need to be celibate? How come you're not telling women they need to be celibate? They the ones that can terminate the pregnancy. Can't no man terminate no pregnancy. You know, the best he can do is be the doctor. If he gonna be the doctor that terminate the pregnancy. And I'm saying, y'all, we should think about the fact that there is some kind of choice going on, because realistically speaking, now I'm not saying anybody has been present when a woman had a pregnancy terminated, but realistically, as men, what do we think is happening in that room that they take her to do this procedure? They're gonna jam something up her vagina to grab hold of that child, and they're gonna pull it out. Okay, they'll pull it out in pieces or pull it out as a whole. And I hear they break the baby apart and all that good stuff. So while they're doing all that, you have to have an instrument jammed up in her, at least for the most part. This is how it would go. You're jamming some instrument in her to pull out pieces of a baby. Now, does this sound like fun?
It sounds demonic to me, though.
Some form of a cold rod or a cold hook or a cold clamp being jammed up your vagina in a non-pleasurable sexual way. Does this sound like fun? Because I would bet money this ain't a fun experience. I'm not a woman. I can't ever really technically confirm it, but I would bet you money this ain't fun. So why are they picking this as the primary method? What I'm saying is black men got to think about this means something, that this is their primary method. Why do you want to go to some stranger, get on some table, spread your legs open wide, and have somebody jam something up your vagina until he can pull out parts of a baby? That don't sound like a fun experience to me, but that's just me. But turn around, you ain't said nothing yet. You got the flow.
Well, Roger, what I was going to tell the brothers is there are places where there are women dreaming of having babies and would not have your abortion, deletions. There's women who are dreaming of having babies, black babies, and we need to find those places where the women are dreaming of having black babies.
Well, I am putting some focus on what they're doing, because I think the way I'm bringing this, I don't think we really thought about as men before. At least I haven't really seen it. What is the big deal that they got to terminate a pregnancy? Because you don't have to get pregnant. You can have all the sex you want, never come up pregnant in today's time. This is not the 1500s. So what's the big deal of having a particular man impregnate you, and then taking that trip to whatever clinic or doctor office you see to go have a non-fun experience?
This is what I would like to ask women in general. Okay, like somewhere around 12, 13, 14, whatever, especially around when you get your menses, at least in more responsible families, you start seeing a gynecologist. And part of that experience of I guess annually or whatever, visiting a gynecologist includes discussion about reproduction, of course, and specifically about pregnancy prevention. And a responsible doctor will acquaint you with at least a dozen methods of birth control or pregnancy prevention. At least a dozen. In fact, if you've been in some of the OB/GYN offices, they'll have illustrations of those options on the walls. I mean, I've raised daughters into adulthood, so I've seen this kind of thing. So very early in life, you're being made acquainted with, again, at least a dozen methods of pregnancy prevention. So now, how do you go through that experience? Again, it usually starts before they're even legal adults. And yet you still end up with this so-called accidental non-marital pregnancy. How does that happen? How do you go through that experience? But probably for, 5 or so years before you even get to the point of becoming pregnant. How do you go through that experience and still, oops, I didn't get the IUD. Oops, I didn't use the condom. Oops, I didn't use the patch. Oops, I didn't use the diaphragm. Oops, I didn't use the birth control. How do you skip all of those different things and end up accidentally pregnant? How does that happen? That's the question I would like to ask. All of them.
I would like to put forth this tidbit of information that I always add, but we always kind of forget. I said the black woman has the anti-life equation, bro, right? And then when I said it was the anti-life equation, what does that mean? That is a demonic quote unquote creature, right? And then necessary,
It's
right?
the dark side,
Y'all
man.
hold on and finish. Let me finish. then y'all said it. Then y'all said, well, then she said, "Oh my gosh, we're demons." I said, "All right, but demons do require a sacrifice of blood necessarily and souls." And then y'all necessarily think I was lying when I called these people, see what I'm saying, the anti-life equation. Y'all thought I was lying. Go ahead.
Hey, Roger.
I think you make a lot of sense. No, go ahead, Red Pill Super Sale, but I'm just gonna say I think you're making a lot of sense.
You potentially have a new character for your comic book. We could
Whoa,
call her Death Woman.
hey, I don't know, bro. Chill. I ain't got nothing going on. I ain't got nothing. Remember where we at. Okay.
My bad.
Yeah, we'll talk. But I was saying some of that in a joking manner, just so you know. But we'll talk. But just because of where it happened, we're not supposed to say anything that happened back there, even if it's what color somebody's cup is. We just not supposed to do it. So, but I was joking. Just so you know. Now, I'm gonna say, and I was trying to hold it together for Black Who said something about dark side. I think. No, I wanted to laugh immediately, but I was trying to hold it in. No, I think there's something to this, y'all, because I'm looking at stuff, y'all. Now I go through all this feminist stuff or whatever they saying. I listen to all this stuff about medical procedures. I hear women trying to argue all this stuff about abortion. I notice how they'll talk a long time and then they'll say something that's totally unrelated to abortion and then say, all this unrelated stuff. Then that's why we should be able to have freedom of abortion. And I'm like, you just talk for 15 minutes. You ain't say nothing in reference to why a person should have an abortion. And you just kind of throw that at the end. Like, that don't even make a lick of sense. And y'all, I do the research, y'all. I went to all these different things. I'm listening to all these different women's at their conventions and their councils and all this stuff and how they're saying we need to approach this and we need this freedom to do this and we'll never truly be free, so we can always just try to fight to gain more free. I listen to all this dribble. And I couldn't come up with one good reason of why they're doing this. And then I look at what black babies what black babies they are getting rid of. So at the end of the day, y'all, no, I do think when usual business say something about blood sacrifice. Now I think it might be something to that for real, because there's no clear answer on why they want to have these abortions, especially of the you're talking about the hardest group of men to get pregnant by. Black men. We are the hardest group to get pregnant by.
Hey, Roger, I know you have to say certain things. You got it, Black Girl.
Again, that's why I was mentioning all of the birth control methods, because that means you went past all these other opportunities to prevent that pregnancy, to get to that abortion. So then did you really want to prevent pregnancy, or did you want to have a pregnancy? And your behavior says you wanted to have a pregnancy, but then you terminate the pregnancy. If you want to have the pregnancy, And your behavior says you wanted to have that pregnancy because you avoided every opportunity. Again, at least a dozen methods of avoiding that pregnancy. You avoided those. You got pregnant, and then you terminate the pregnancy. So what does that mean? What does that mean?
I'm
Now,
the anti-life
that
equation.
now, then I'm saying that's my point. You know,
But
logically, you can deduce that you're on some sacrificial thing here.
and Black Guru, I agree that we should walk them down that path of, the question and answer. And what you're going to get is you're never going to get the answer. We're going to have to come to the conclusion. And usual business, I know you saying people saying you crazy, but I don't see anybody saying you crazy though. So that's what I'm saying. Like, hey,
when I'm in other places, people say I'm crazy.
Yeah, for sure. So, that's what I'm saying. Like, they are never going to they're never going to admit to it. I mean, this is something I frankly don't think they're capable of doing it. But that's just me, you know what I'm saying? But that's the truth of it. And hence your background, Roger. I'm not saying you're saying that, but your background is very interesting.
Well, I'm gonna say I did have a little influence on this background because to me, there's a clear thing going on that I think men need to start truly thinking about it from this particular perspective. And shout out to Inspired True Broadcast, and of course I got you. He done dropped $100 on it. He say sounds like a separate show topic. Hey, but I said $100. I'm gonna get you your show topic. He said, can we have a productive, good faith conversation with Black women? If not, why? That will, we will definitely do this as a show, my brother. You done dropped that 100. Can't even argue with you. It's not like it goes against my morals or the platform. So, no, brother, we will definitely have that show later on. Okay, we'll definitely have that as a show. And I'm gonna say yes, y'all. I do believe.
Let me ask this question. Let me ask this question about what inspirational truth proposed. Can you have that discussion without having women on the panel?
All right, brother. I'm gonna look for your response to that in the chat. I'm gonna look for your response to that in the chat. Okay. But I'm down.
The only reason I'm asking that question, is because you get two different things if the women are or are not on the panel.
Okay. And I'm gonna say shout out to the darling of the channel. She already got the laughing emoji. So but she a woman though. She a woman. So hey, it is what it is. And like your picture too. I like the picture. Very nice.
My bad.
You go ahead. Go and say it. You want to say?
I was gonna say she look nice. I was say she look damn. She look nice. That's all I'm gonna say.
Hey, Roger, can I add something, man? You were talking about like going to these pregnancy termination facilities and the ritual that they have to go through, like the code instruments and blah, blah, blah. And you're like, man, how can that be fun? And it's kind of similar. I have tattoos myself. It's kind of like, it's a pain with like getting a tattoo is not fun really, but it's like a pleasure from the pain from it. And I think women get off today. So is it pleasurable? I don't know. Depends on how you look at it. I think they get some sort of wicked backwards pleasure out of that.
You know what? I can't argue with that at all because when I think about it from a male perspective, it can't seem like a good time to me. I don't know how you have a good time doing that, but you went through so much trouble to get that thing done. But all of a sudden now you just don't want
it. If she started seeing a gynecologist starting around 13 years old, although it's not a pleasurable experience to her, it's not necessarily a wholly unusual experience for her. See, that's the part about not being a woman you guys don't really get. I mean, she's been in stirrups, maybe at that point, she's been in and out of stirrups for maybe 7+ years
Yeah, that's
before
a
she
good
even
point.
got to having that abortion.
And we cock them legs in the ass sometimes ourselves. So she used to it.
Good
No,
point.
but no, I don't
No,
want to
I'm
trigger.
joking.
I don't
I'm
want to
joking.
trivialize the point.
No,
I'm
no.
saying she has had cold instruments
Mhm.
inside her before
That's true.
That's
prior
a
to
very
that
good
point.
point. Yeah, I was making a joke, but that is an extremely good point. She's conditioned already. She's conditioned already. That's a very, very good point. Real talk. Because I don't want to belittle that point. And I'm gonna say shout out to Dave Walker. My main man just dropped 100 in there. He said, "Fargan to you, Roger." Good morning to all the brothers on the panel. It's been a while. I'll just say this: let it from the Bible. They are. Hey, appreciate you, my brother. Appreciate you. Well, you know what? And I'm my bad, I forgot to highlight it, but I'm gonna say we got to accept it is what it is at some point. I love black women. I really do. But when I see something consistently being done, and these are women that don't know each other across different parts of the country, doing the same things to bypass all these levels of birth control. They not making the man put a condom on because all she got to do is say put on a condom. He's stuck. He got to do it or it ain't even legal no more. You got all this control, but you get pregnant, and then I'm gonna go get rid of this baby anyway. To me, that's you want to talk about premeditated because they say if you get mad at somebody and go home and get your gun first and then come back and shoot, that's premeditated. Well, what is it when you skip all that birth control, find the guy who's willing to get you pregnant, then set an appointment, wait for your appointment date to come up, show up on time, then go actually have the procedure done? If that ain't premeditated, I don't know what is. So
Every demon needs their blood sacrifice every couple years, bro. See what I'm saying? And every couple years, you need her blood sacrifice.
Which I'm saying makes sense to me. And shout out to Kunguru. He says we are so hard to get pregnant by. Sperm clinics sounded the alarm. You know what? That is a fantastic point to bring up right now. Fantastic point. That's how hard it is to get pregnant by a black man. Even the clinics are running dry. Real talk. This is real stuff that's happening. Now, y'all, took a little longer than what I wanted, but now I got to give heck, it's my show. I can get away with stuff sometimes. Man, you can take up to 5 minutes for an opening statement. We're gonna listen to Bush. This could be dangerous though. This could be dangerous, but Bush waxing that. Yeah, I told you I ain't cursing on that mess. Great Black Reset. Can you read his name, please?
Oh, you gonna make me do it. You gonna
Oh,
make
you
me
know
do
what?
it.
Okay, use my baby. Can you do
Bushwhaxing.
it?
Wait. Bushwhaxing that ass.
That's the homie. Is that?
That's the homie.
Yeah.
That
Oh
is
man,
absolutely
welcome home, bro.
100% the homie. The prodigal son has
Welcome
returned.
home, man.
My my
How
my nemesis, man, I miss you.
And let me say this too. Let me say this too before we get started, y'all. I'm trying to get y'all to stop cursing on us. So stop trying to make me curse on it. Because now you're gonna make me like a hypocrite. I can't be up here cursing and asking y'all not to. Can't do that, okay? Can't do that. But before you go, because one more super chat just came in. Before you go, shout out to Ryan Decipher. One more again. He say, if you don't hear this anywhere else, you at least heard it here. Usual business may not be wrong. Hashtag black men are John Constantine.
Keep telling y'all, goddamn it, bro.
Okay, y'all. Let's let Bush get that mic. Hey, glad man. Oh, hold on, one more. Shout out to Afro Merchant. He say, "Welcome back, bro." Hashtag long live brothers in the wilderness. All right, shout out to you. Hey, glad to have you back. I hope you're in good health, and I expect that you are since you're here. But glad to have you back. You can take up to 5 minutes if you like for your opening statement. That is up to you. You got it, my brother.
I'll follow the 2 minutes, no problem. Shout out to you, Roger. Shout out to the panel. Shout out to the everybody in the chat. So I just want to say a couple of things. So first, I'm pro-choice. I think it's okay. Somebody's breathing really heavy. Uh, I believe it's pro-choice. She can do what she want to do, but the thing is, what we're missing here is that when black women have over a little bit over 1 million more children than black men, so that it shows that she's getting it in with other races of men. So Bush is hitting it, Jackie Chan is hitting it, and Rico Gonzalez is hitting it. And I would venture to say that she can't be running around the hood with a little Asian baby and a half, Vietnamese baby. So I would say she's going to get rid of them because when she found out that he ain't gonna be around because he can't take her to mama, she went and got an abortion. And I can't blame her because at the end of the day, like if you get pregnant by niggas you don't want, like a Chef Mike baby, I would go get an abortion too. So at the end of the day, I'm for pro-choice, bro. So because at the end of the day, that is one less dude in jail. That's one less dude to rob me. And at the end of the day, black women do have babies by black men because it ain't nothing more arousing than seeing a nigga on child support. That's like making her squirt. And I pass the mic on that.
I was cool to that last line.
It's a beautiful ending, man. Left with
Oh, shout out to Kyoki, man. That was cool. That last line got me, man. I was holding it together. Shout out to Kyoki, and I appreciate the 57-cent Trail Bentley tax. He says, "Happy return to the great Warden one." Real talk, real talk. And I'm gonna say this, y'all. I want y'all to not be thrown off because I'm personally not making anything about whether you're pro-choice or pro-life. And I'm not saying this because of what he said. I'm just saying to make it clear for people in the audience. I'm not even saying be pro-life. I'm not even saying be pro-choice. I'm just asking why get pregnant if you want to terminate the pregnancy. That's all I'm asking. Because now he did make a point about they having these, they are having babies by non-black men. That's a real thing too. But I've never seen a black woman get an abortion by a non-black man. So
No,
are they hiding those kids? No, this is what I'm saying. I'm not gonna say that can't have happened because maybe they live in the hood.
What I'm saying, there's a hierarchy, right? A white one you keep, the Puerto Rican one with good hair you keep, and the Asian ones they gotta go.
I mean, I'm saying that could be something that's true. I just don't know of any black woman who've done that of a non-black man. I'm not saying it hasn't happened. I'm just saying I ain't never heard of it.
They will abort non-black men children under one circumstance. If that non-black man is powerful enough or is perceived by her to be powerful enough to compel her to abort his child. Like if you have some fairly high status white man or some fairly high status Arab man that do not want you to have his bastard's child, he's going to make sure you don't have his bastard's child, one way or the other.
And they're getting pregnant by
there
Arab.
Are some circumstances where they will walk them bitches or deliver them bitches by lift or whatever at a abortion clinic. And I'm cursing, I'm sorry, Roger. And make sure they snip that thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and see, there's all types of under the table stuff that happens. So I'm not gonna. That's why I never argue that it ain't the truth. I know somewhere something got to happen at some point, but I don't see it voluntarily.
I agree. Left to her own volition, yeah, she's gonna have that white man's baby. That's for sure.
Yeah. She'll have the white one, but you know those Arabs, because I mean, look how many of them go to Dubai, right? You gonna tell me they're using condoms, but pooping on them? I don't think so.
And there are a little bit different things when you go to different countries. There's because there's different hierarchies and different ways of life and all that type of stuff. So I ain't gonna. I'm what I'm saying. And like I say, y'all, I ain't no person. I can't claim to be an expert in the world. I just know what I hear about the world. I just know what's going on in America because I'm seeing it, I'm exposed to it. But when you get outside of America, then it gets a little different sometimes. Even though I know that there's caste systems in other places. But
and white dudes are super cold with it because, like I say, especially if he's a white man of a certain status, he will basically use the threat of the severing of their relationship to coerce her into abortion. Like he'll basically say, "Look, I love you. I think I want to marry you, but we can't have no out of wedlock child. If you had this child out of wedlock, our relationship is over." You can pretty much book that she's gonna snip that child.
Yeah.
If she earnestly believes she has a shot at bagging that white man, she's gonna snip that child.
Mm-hmm. And I'm gonna say that would make sense based on how Black women operate. And I want y'all to notice the white man can say if you if you have my baby, we done, and she'll get rid of it. But if you as a Black man say that, bro, she ain't thinking about you, Nick. The whole purpose is the child support. That's the whole purpose. So it's gonna be a little bit different with you. It's gonna be a little bit different with you. Now, y'all, believe it or not, believe it. Who's that? Who's gonna say that? Who's that? Who's that?
It's me, the Great Black Reset. I was gonna say that they're consistent in everything that they do. And with white men, it's not about control because they see the white man as superior and they're not trying to control them. They're trying to basically become Miss Ann. With Black men, they're always trying to control Black men. So this is why they abort more of our children. They're gonna abort the child if you want the child. If you don't want the child, they're gonna force the child on you for child support purposes. It's all about control, and they're never going to admit that.
Okay. Now, y'all, not only did we get our brother back today, you know what I'm saying, and glad to see you back again. Glad to see you back again. Y'all, she back in the back, y'all. So we making a special exception. Okay, we gonna let her up. But let me say this, okay, because now Chef Mike said it was cool. I you know what I'm saying. I'm gonna let people know I'm not gonna overrule Chef Mike. I gave him a power for a reason, nor anybody else on the pit crew. I ain't gonna overrule them. Okay, but he did say it was cool to let her back up because Black people did want to speak to her. So she's backstage. So I'm gonna let her up. We gonna have I'm gonna tell guys, everybody be cool, be respectful. Not that I really gotta say it to y'all. But at the end of the day, I'm already gonna jump on her case about being cool and being respectful, and we not gonna let her take this show in a direction it ain't supposed to go. And we gonna deal with the subject of the show today, and we gonna be cool, and cause I kind of think she want to mess stuff up, but cause I don't know her, I just know what I seen from her earlier today. She's an unknown to me, so I ain't prejudging her. I'm just going on what she did earlier. So let's try to keep it cool and see if we can have a respectful conversation today. And if it goes well today, I will invite her for the conversation that Inspired Truth Broadcast has paid for, because we're going to have that conversation. Okay, because he didn't pay his money. At $100, you're gonna get a show over here. That's just the way it works. You pay $100, you can get a show. So we gonna have it. So I'm gonna let Mayshawn flip back onto the panel. Everybody just be cool, because I can't have y'all not be cool while I'm trying to get on her about being cool. Okay, Mayshawn, I'm bringing you back up, and I'm gonna let this start off with because Black was gonna ask you some questions earlier, so I'm gonna let him ask his questions, and you can answer his questions. Then if you got something you want to ask to him or the panel or whatever, we're gonna have a cool conversation. Just all I'm gonna ask you to do is be cool. That's it. Okay, you can try to make your points. It's fine. We don't mind you disagreeing. Just be cool about it. That's all I'm asking you. So, Black Rule, we got it here. Go ahead and ask away, my brother.
Yeah. Well, I guess I don't want to backtrack. I guess I would like to ask her, Mashawn. First of all, hi, of course, welcome. What did you hear? What we discussed after you left the panel?
The question is, did I
Hello?
hear?
Yeah. Did you hear the discussion, but specifically regarding what had been directed or had included your participation? Did you hear what we discussed after you left?
Some of it, no, because I
Well,
thought,
what did you hear? What did you hear?
well, what I just heard a couple of minutes ago about the abortion issue of women being pregnant
No, I'm
after
saying,
they're being.
just want to clear. Hold
Okay.
on. I just want to clarify. Please listen to my question. Did you hear any of what we discussed about you after you left the panel initially?
I did not.
Is there a delay or am I okay? All right. I mean, I appreciate you saying that. It took
Something
us a while
happened
to
a
get
minute
there,
ago.
but
No, if something happened a minute ago with the app. So, and I said no, I
okay,
did not
okay,
3
all right,
times. But there
okay,
was something that just
that's
happened.
fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fine. I appreciate the technical issues. So
So what
again,
was
I
said
guess the
about
first
me?
thing
I
I
would
would
like to
ask you.
know.
Well,
Well,
you can
no,
catch that on the
we're
replay.
not
You can
going to
catch
talk.
that on the
Yeah,
replay later.
I did not ask. Yeah, yeah, and I did not ask you that question to necessarily, uh, revisit that as much as I wanted to get some perspective about where your head is at when you come back up here. Because if you heard what we said, you're probably going to have a different thing going on inside your mind than if you had not heard it. So since you said you have not heard it, then that's going to influence how we go forward. Okay, so I guess the first question I would have for you is how did you hear about Roger's channel?
I just happened to come up and see it, come up on it.
Happen to come up on it? What does that mean?
Meaning that if you're on YouTube, like all the other millions of people on YouTube, when you see something, you join, that you look at the topic and you just want to join in.
Can I ask a question?
It sort of popped up on your. Okay,
Feed.
go ahead.
Well, I was just going to add
So it
this.
just came.
That's
He
what I
letting you ask the
said.
question, usual business. Go ahead, ask the question.
Go
Yeah,
ahead.
yeah, okay,
You
okay,
don't.
okay, my bad, my bad,
Just
my bad.
go on.
Okay. Sorry. So, all right, then the question I was just trying to simply say that out of all the spaces on YouTube, there's like a billion, if not billions of channels. So how did you come across this one specific channel out of the billions of channels? There's like, makeup, tutorial,
But to
farming.
me, that's a defeated question because I'm always on YouTube myself, actually.
No,
And I'm on other podcasts for a lot of years. So, but this popped on my feed. I don't know, maybe I did see Dana somewhere.
No. Hold on. Because I don't even
Maybe
want you.
that's a connection.
Hold on, man. Hold on. On my channel, I don't even like. I don't know where you're going, but I'm thinking you may start seeing other content. I don't even want people mentioned over here. So we heard it. It popped up randomly. It is what it is. That happens sometimes. So we accept, and that's your answer. It popped up randomly. Cool. Not a problem. Shout out to Landon real quick. He said, who sent you, my G? With a laughing emoji, but she said it popped up. So this is just something that came across her randomly.
I mean, but there are lots there are lots of
Who
things
sent
that pop
me?
up
God
on our
sent me.
feeds.
How about that answer? Because see, I can go.
No, let's not
Okay.
let's not do that. Let's not do that. Let's be. Roger said earlier, we're going to be respectful. We're going to be conscientious about what we're doing here. So I mean, you probably in a given day might see hundreds of things pop up on your feed, and the vast majority of those you will ignore, right? So why don't you make a point of visiting this particular channel, given all the other things that you could have visited?
Because this is a very touchy subject to me about when Black women, women in abortion period. And as I stated before, I'm an anti-abortionist, and the title is what attract me when you talk about Black women specifically. And the woman in the picture looked demonized, right? But then you got the crown of a king. So that is what attracted me to this podcast of today.
Okay, y'all. Real quick. Shout
All
out
right,
to.
hold on. First of all, well,
but just to get a quick super chat break in here. Shout out to Gold P. Gold P say she can, like everybody else, mention Gold P though. Okay, but Gold P went. Hey, you good? Ain't nobody said that. I don't even know what you mean by this one. I don't know what you mean by this one, but ain't nobody said nothing slick, so we good.
He goes up in that one, really.
Yeah, John. I don't know what you mean by this one, Gold P. I don't know what you mean.
Gold P just doing what he do. He peeing on the panel and throwing chairs. That's what he doing.
Yeah, I feel him, but he already throwing. He chair throwing.
Well,
I see.
So go ahead, Uru.
Well, we should applaud the magnificence of the imagery. Who was the imagery created by Roger?
Well, I threw some ideas in there, but this was Compassionate who kind of put it together. I had a little influence in this one though, so
yeah, we
it's
should
dope.
Applaud that whichever direction we should approve the magnificence of the imagery and the drawing power of it, given it has drawn Mashan to the channel. So you consider this to represent the demonization of Black women? Is that what your conclusion is, Mashan?
I mean, her eyes are red, bro.
Well, he is saying Black women specifically, but he also said, when I said earlier, it's not just only Black women I see more white women yelling out in front of the Capitol about having an abortion. It's their right. It's their body.
This is the thing, ma'am, and then you may not know it because this is your first time here. This is a very Black-centric channel. So what we're not going to do is use white peoples as shields for what Black people do. We're not going to do that.
And I absolutely agree.
So what they're doing, that's on them. That they not making us do this or making us do that. We doing what we want to do, and we're talking about what we're doing. Okay. So I don't want you to think somebody just trying to stop you from making a good point. No, I'm talking about what we're doing.
Yeah.
As a matter of fact, Roger often
it's kind of like that.
Segment.
It's kind of like that thing that your mother or grandmother might said, if your friends jump out of a window, will you jump out of the window too? So
right.
No, you're responsible for your own behavior. I wanted to ask this question. Is a question that this term that has been repeatedly used, demonize. Maybe you.
Okay, so I'm gonna get. Can I answer that question? All right. So a lot of people do know me.
What question are you answering?
Can I answer the
Hey,
question? Okay,
one thing
because
we
I
don't
Hold on.
do on the
Wait,
panel, we
term
don't cut
I do.
demonize.
I do not.
start
I
at each
do.
other. All right.
I use the term
I wanted.
demonize
I just
because
wanted to
that's what
clear.
I hear.
I just wanted to.
Well,
Go ahead.
I
ma'am, let
just
him
wanted to
keep.
clarify
Okay.
Yes, sir. I'm
what
sorry.
question you were answering. So if you can clarify what question you're answering, then we'll understand what you're attempting to do. So what question are you answering?
Okay. Because you use, okay, it was like you answer an indirect question to me about how I used the term demonize. That's what I saw. But what I'm saying
Mhm.
is I hear this a lot. That's why it's good to have a conversations with others, because I hear Black women say the men on the internet is always demonizing Black women. And I hear this from a mass because I'm on other podcasts and I've had podcasts with Black women. And they say it feels like they're always being demonized by Black men on the internet. And that has been a conversation with others also.
Oh, okay. Well,
So,
hold on. Let me interject. I hear
Yeah, I
what you're
just want to say
saying. I
something.
hear what you're saying, but that ain't got nothing to do with the subject of my show. So now I'm gonna say,
okay,
if you're gonna relate it
I
to the
agree
subject,
with you.
listen to me.
Doesn't
If you
matter.
want to relate to the subject of my show, are you suggesting that the things I'm talking about that Black women are doing today, because I'm talking about how they're getting pregnant so they can have a termination, are you saying that that is demonic behavior, or are you saying we're demonizing them because they are participating in this?
That is definitely diabolical, each way you put it. Now,
So, but
We
okay,
let me answer the question. You got to answer the
are
question.
you saying we're
Well,
demonizing them because we're talking about what
hold
they're
on,
doing?
hold on.
no, no.
Let's review.
If it's
Let's
when it's
review
the
what she has
outcry,
presented. Can
okay, so when
can
it's
we
the
present? Can
outcry,
we review what you presented?
Let her answer first. She didn't really
No,
answer. To be fair,
hold on. Let's talk about where the
she didn't answer.
demonization comes from. The
But she,
demonization comes from the image that she saw here. That's what she said.
but hold on.
She
No, no, no,
said
no,
that
no.
this
Not that
image.
too.
No,
hold on. Time
I'm
out.
saying she said this image. I'm saying she said
First,
this image was a demonic presentation of Black women. That's what she said.
it is. It is.
Is it?
The whole
Hey,
eyes of
Right,
hey,
Israel.
can
right.
we?
Well,
Hey, I know that
Hey,
Roger, this is your show, of course. Can we let Black Uru and this lady hash it out? Let them get to it. Them, just them.
Okay,
Well, I mean, so is
let's
this a
do this.
panel or not?
No, let's do this, because and especially because y'all know my man here, he also has, I believe, privilege. I'm gonna say this: let's not play games. Her issue is what we're talking about. It is not the image. Let's not even play that game, because she said stuff earlier, and
well,
she said,
no, no.
no.
She saw. Hold on now. She saw a series of things presented. She saw something in type about Black women, and she saw this image, and she concluded from that, you know, that this represents some demonizing of Black women. Now, whether her conclusion is is valid based on what's being presented here, maybe we would disagree is not valid. But I think what drew her here wasn't necessarily invalid. I think what drew her here wasn't necessarily invalid. But the point I'm attempting to make is that, yeah, you saw this image, you saw these things in your feed, and you saw this image, and you saw how it was titled, and you drew a conclusion that this represents demonizing Black women. Is or is not that what you did?
when I first saw this image, that's the way it looked to me.
And I'm gonna
Okay,
Until we
interject.
really got
okay.
into the conversation. Hold up, can I speak?
Go ahead.
Until we really got into the conversation, and I thought about It sounds more to me now as a cry out from Black men, which is a different thing, of their hurts
Thank you.
and pains and what they're going through and
Thank you.
what some
Wait
of
a minute.
us have done to you,
Yeah.
maybe without realizing intentionally, or maybe intentionally, which you intentionally, excuse me, as to what I just heard. That is something new to me, and I will definitely speak against it. And I don't know if I can finish answering a question about how I feel
Hold
about
on,
it.
but hold on before you go there. See, now this is my thing for clarification purposes. I heard what she said both times. She gave two different answers on this because she said something
Exactly.
earlier when she first came up, and I heard that, and now she's saying something different now. So at the end of the day, she gave two different answers. And my thing is, we ain't gonna just let that. We ain't gonna act like
Well,
that didn't happen just because
well,
Black Rule missed it. Because you,
I
Black Rule, before you
mean,
came up,
I didn't miss it.
I mean,
Can I tell you why and what happened?
she is a woman. You know, there's gonna be some double talk there. But you know, I do think it's fair to understand what initially. I think it's important to understand initially what provoked her initial energy coming into this subject. Now, after having some time and some perspective, and you know, a lot of times things are presented a certain kind of way, but then they mean something else. You know, because we spent a lot of time talking about demonize, demonize, demonize. Maybe she does not. Maybe she does realize now that you know Black women are not being demonized. We're telling the truth about what's going on,
and
and,
matter
and
of
for
fact,
you
Black
to
Rule.
interpret it as
No,
okay.
and I don't mean to cut you off, but you know, I'm accepting what you're saying, but I pay attention to certain things too. Now I'm gonna say this. And it's fine for you to be here right now, ma'am. And I gotta let Hot Sauce get into. Well, my bad. We're gonna call you by the name that you got on your screen. But
That ass.
well, I'm
We
gonna
gotta
just
let
call him
that
Bush
ass
for
get in
short.
here.
I'm gonna
You can
call him
just
Bush
say
for short. And
you can just say Bush in that butt.
but I'm gonna say this real quick. Now she said she didn't hear us. When ma'am, this is a simple question. I just need you to give me an honest answer. Okay, please just be honest. When you left the stream the first time, now I don't know if I'm not gonna say you were upset. You could have been upset. Doesn't make a difference to me either way. When you first left initially, you literally stopped listening at that particular time. You did something else and then you came back. Is that true or not?
That's true. I left because you
Okay.
said,
But
didn't
no,
you
no, no.
say
I don't
somebody?
need
I
ma'am. I
heard
don't need
somebody call me
explanation,
a troll or
ma'am,
whatever.
ma'am,
So I
ma'am,
just
Ma'am,
left.
answer that
ma'am,
I
question.
did.
ma'am,
I left.
ma'am. I don't need an explanation. I just asked what you did. Now you immediately left. Now I'm gonna show y'all how disrespectful she is. She didn't even hear us say it was okay for her to come back. She just did it anyway. And that's what I'm pointing out. She's just a disrespectful woman in general. And but
Okay.
that's
So
that's
let me
okay.
tell you
Roger,
why I
No.
came now.
It's
Now hold
it's
on.
Roger.
okay.
Can I speak?
We letting it rock. No. I don't play the excuse game.
Well,
We letting it rock
Exactly.
yeah.
regardless because what Chef Mike had said, we letting it rock regardless. But I do want y'all to know she done gave two different answers, two different perspectives. I'm not saying your perspective can't change over time, but she didn't even hear that she was allowed to come back. She just did it anyway. So this is what we're dealing with. But it's cool.
I'm gonna check
I'm
you,
letting it
mother.
rock. It's cool. I'm letting it rock. So y'all leave it alone. And we're gonna let her say her piece.
Well,
And we go
did she? But Roger, hold on. Now, at some point, I thought it had been said that she was welcome to come back
she
up.
didn't hear it though, Black Rule. That's
She never
that's what
knew
I'm
that in
saying.
the
She
first
didn't even
place.
hear that.
Well, no. Hold on. Did you
That's the point.
hear being re-invited back up on the panel, Mashawn? Did you hear that,
Please say no. Please say no.
Mashawn? Mashawn?
I'm sorry. It was my mic. I did hear I thought I heard somebody say she's welcome to come back.
Oh no, you were cool until that.
Okay.
I don't like you.
Yeah, lying motherfucker.
So if
Hey,
she had
stop.
if she heard, see, Okay, Mashawn, see, I had asked you earlier, did you hear anything in between, when you left the panel and then when you returned and you said you had not?
Okay, when I left the
That's why I
panel,
asked
I
you
just
that
left the
question.
panel. Hold on. And when I came back, I heard somebody say,
No,
I was in the
no,
back.
but I asked you, did you continue to listen to the show after you
No, I
left the
did not
panel?
continue to listen at all. I left the panel completely.
So then how would you know that you had been re-invited back up if you had not listened to anything after you left?
When I came back on, I came back through the back. And I'm gonna tell you what I did. If you give me a chance to let a woman speak, please. When I got off the panel,
Man,
hold
what
on, let
we,
me
bro?
speak. When I got off the panel, I had my praise and worship experience with God. That's what I did. And I felt, I said, I saw you guys still on. And I agree with uh, a lot of the things which you were saying. So I said, let me um, get to the back or get back on. That would be your decision if you want to let me up or
Okay.
not. I
So
mean,
so so it's
I
been
just want to say one thing.
clarified. She didn't hear an invitation to come back, so she was being disrespectful because she got kicked off and just came back anyway because she don't care nothing about what black men say. And I'm asking y'all to leave it
no, but
alone.
that's
It's it
your,
no no
I
no.
didn't have
It
to get up here.
no
That was your
ma'am, I
guys
don't need
doing.
you to tell me what's going on. I'm grown. See, I understand you used to just telling people stupid stuff and they accepting it. I'm not your friend. Keep that in mind. I'm a host of a show. I'm not your friend. I know what happened. I pointed out what happened. You just went through a bunch of trouble just to get to the same place I already said we were at. Now I'm asking folks to leave it alone. I get that you're disrespectful, but I'm trying to let you participate in the show anyway. Ain't nothing you gonna tell me is gonna change my mind because I heard you. I don't need somebody
And
else's
the
opinion
reason
about.
why I'm confused is
Ma'am. I don't
coming
need
to the back
anybody
is
else's. Ma'am,
disrespectful.
I don't
I
need
didn't know that.
anybody else's opinion
Roger,
about what I
Roger,
heard.
Roger,
Roger.
Roger. At this point,
You
if
gotta
you're
stop.
gonna quarrel
No,
with
no,
her,
no, no.
why do you
It's cool.
why do you have?
It's cool. I'm
I'm
a
just
step.
saying if you're going, I'm just
I'm
saying
Listen, no,
either either we don't quarrel with her, or she needs to leave the panel.
no,
One or the
no.
other. It doesn't
what,
benefit us to have her here and then quarrel with her.
But that's why I was trying to leave it
That's
alone. But I was just simply pointing out the fact that she lied. She is a liar, and I'm just saying she came back on a disrespectful
Roger.
context. But it's cool.
I just
But
wanted to say one thing. Like,
No.
all right, go ahead, bro.
I'm saying y'all, we gonna let it go. We gonna let it go. I'm gonna let Black Cruz say what he wanted to say to her, and Hot Sauce wanted to say something to her. So let's let them get in.
well,
I'm gonna step aside for a second
you know,
myself.
I I'm gonna pull back because I just get the impression that there's this desire to fight with this woman, and
No,
I don't want to fight with her. You
it's
know,
not a desire. It's not a
I
desire
don't
to
I don't I
fight.
don't see the benefit of that.
No, it's not a desire to
I don't
fight.
see the
I just
benefit
want
of
people
that.
to know what the truth is. That's all I'm doing. I'm just trying to make sure people understand what the truth is.
Can I ask my question?
It,
That's
Okay,
okay.
yeah,
please.
let's get, I'm gonna step down for a second. I'm gonna let you get it, and then I'm gonna bring up Ado Sims. Well, yeah, Ado Sims is in the back. I'm gonna let him replace me for a hot second, and go ahead, do your thing. I'm trying to do this where we're not quarreling with her. So y'all, when I say something to her and I say let it go, just let it go, because I don't want to turn it into something that it don't have to be. But I'm not gonna fake stuff, and I'm not gonna let people pretend what's going on ain't going on either. I'm not gonna do that because
Okay.
that's just me. All right, go ahead.
So, hey, Michonne, friendly fire over here. Friendly fire. I have no smoke with you. Anybody that don't listen to Chef Mike is a friend of mine. So, anyway, let's continue. So, why did you come on the panel today about this topic about termination?
which I explained earlier, that is a conversation that's also dear to me. And because of the person of who I am, people who really know me, yeah. And as I stated, I am an anti-abortionist, and I am for the success of my people, which I consider myself American descendants of chattel slavery, Black
Mhm.
American, FBA, however you want to call it. But we do have some issues that needs to be addressed. Some of the things I'm hearing is new to me. Some of it is old to me at the same token. So when I
So
saw this,
are you saying
huh?
that black women that are terminating at a very, very high rate is new to you?
Absolutely not. That's very well, high rate. That's new to me. Termination, no.
I could understand where she's coming from with that because I didn't know it was 40 million until recently. You know what I mean? So you
Wow.
can't be too mad at that.
I
That's
mean, they
disturbing to
are
me. I never
A1
knew those
killers, bro.
numbers.
But can I ask a
I
question
never
though,
knew
real
those
quick? I want to
numbers.
say what's up to
Go ahead.
everybody too, and I just want to ask
What's up? How you
the
doing?
young lady. Hey, yo, welcome back, Hot Sauce. You was acting like you owed us some money, man. Where you been at, bro?
No, we gonna have a conversation in the back because negotiations need to be had.
All right, but yeah. So to the young lady, I just want to say, if and Uru said this earlier, if a parent is telling their child what they doing wrong and trying to help their child correct what they're doing wrong, would you call that parent villainizing their children?
Great question.
Or demonizing,
No,
Demonizing?
to be
no,
accurate.
no.
So how do you equate what black men are saying about abortions as demonizing our sisters and our aunts and our nieces and our mothers and our girlfriends and our wives?
Okay, so like I answered the question earlier, which was the conversation that I hear from my family, sisters, friends, when I saw the image of the black woman with the eyes, which looked diabolical, and I saw the gold crown. And I said earlier, I said, wait a minute. Because I hear it all the time that black men demonize black women online. And this is going back a year, 2 years ago, where we've had the conversation, even with people who are non-black, say, why does it seem like online black men demonize their women? Okay. So when I saw this and then it was black women, that's what made me think, well, everybody else is having abortions, and I see that's. And then Roger was like, "Well, we ain't focusing on others; we're focusing on ourselves." And so that's when the light clicked in, and to me, and it makes sense. Talk about the issue, no matter who's doing what. Talk about what we're doing. So right is right, is wrong.
So next time you hear your sister's family or I can't remember who exactly it was you stated. Next time you hear these people talking about black men or demonizing black women, what would your reply be to them?
Well, when
Considering
it
what you've
comes
heard here
to
so far. I'm sorry, go ahead.
when it comes, that's okay, because when it comes to our issues and we talk about what black men are doing or not doing, vice versa, it's our issue and it needs to be discussed. So now I hear it from a source of, as what I said now, when I come back on, no matter what you said about me when I was present, God knows who I am. So when I had my moment with God, no, I'm being
Yo, mute up,
serious.
please.
Hey, Muslim,
When I
you're
Just no
not.
when I
business.
had my
You.
Please clear it up.
I just
when I
want to
had
point
my
out she's.
moment
Mhm.
Yeah, go ahead.
when I had
Go
my
No,
ahead, ma'am.
moment with
actually,
God, I'm not trying to be disrespectful.
I'm literally
I'm not
coming
trying
up.
to be
No, no, no.
disrespectful to
I
nobody.
get what you're
I
doing, but I'm
came
coming
back
up.
on.
I'm coming up so you can not have your moment. We are not going to do this. Every time you talk, you're not going to go into soliloquy about stuff. You're going to have a conversation about the
I'm
subject of the show,
saying
or we just
my
going no,
thought
ma'am.
pattern.
You're trying to give a whole soliloquy about your relationship with God. We didn't ask about it. Okay, it's not even important to the show topic. At the end of the day, you're going to have a conversation about the subject of today's show and nothing else, or we can just end the show because
Okay, but
y'all know we headed toward the 3 hour mark
you
anyway.
said the
So it's,
movement of God. How do you know right from wrong? Hold
ma'am,
on, can I say
no, no, no,
something?
no, ma'am. I'm the host of the show. You don't play with me. What I'm
What
telling you is
influence
listen
what
to me carefully,
influences
ma'am.
your
Shut
thought?
up and listen to me, or just leave. It's that simple. Shut up, listen to me, or just leave. I don't care which one you do. And that's just real talk. Shut up and listen to me or just leave. What I'm telling you, when somebody asks you something, we don't need you to go into a whole soliloquy about something else. I'm not going to do that every time somebody talk to you. I don't want to hear people having a conversation about one thing and then you go into a 7-minute soliloquy about whatever's on your heart. That ain't what this show is, and whatever's on your heart ain't today's subject. You going to stick to the subject of the show or just gone? I don't like you. You're just a disrespectful black woman. I have no reason to like you at all. I'm just trying to have a
You don't
show.
even know me
Ma'am,
to
I
say
don't
that.
need
So
your
that
opinion
goes to
because it
tell me
doesn't matter
about
to me.
you.
Ma'am, I don't need your opinion. Your opinion does not even matter to me. And that's what you need to
I
understand. This is
just
where
want to say
you're
I
in.
love my
Man,
black
I don't
brothers.
care what
Stay
you got to
true,
say.
and I'm
Listen
out.
to, man,
Peace. I'm out.
no.
I'm out.
Go then.
I'm out.
Go.
Bye. I'm
Go.
trying to.
Go. No,
Thank
just
you.
go. I don't need to hear it. Go.
I'm trying to now. How do
No. There is no trying to go. There's just going. Go. Either you're going to do it my way or you're going to go. You make your decision. I don't care. You got to understand that. I don't care. I really don't. So you going to do it my way or you just going to go? Ain't going to be no I'm going how I want to go. It's going to be you just going to go. Now, you want to do it my way or you want to go?
I think she gone, right?
Did she leave? I
Okay.
thought she left.
Yeah, she gone. She gone, man. Why?
No.
Why we?
It's one thing I wanted to say. It's one thing I wanted to say, right? The reality earlier that I think that Roger caught, I think that Uru didn't catch, right? When she first got here, I just wanted the reality, right? He said we're just showing you the was that was your actions, right? And she said that's demonic. You're
Well, hold on
demonized.
real quick. We at the 3-hour mark, Roger.
My bad.
We about to be. We at 2 hours 55 minutes and 30 seconds. That's why I really didn't care whether she went or not. You know what I'm saying? And my thing is, I see what she was trying to do, like a lot of people do. I want to answer a question, then I want to go into a 7-minute soliloquy about stuff that I want to get off my chest.
But Roger, what female have you ever spoken to that gives a straight answer? I mean, like it's very
one that wants something out of you.
I mean,
very,
usually
very
when you have a conversation with a woman, you have to be prepared to calmly cut her off. You don't have to quarrel with her about cutting her off. What you do is you usually add to the discussion rather than quarreling with her, being long-winded. You come in with another question or another part of the discussion, and then you build from there. They're always going to say more than what you need them to say, given a chance. They're always going to do it. All of them do that. So there's no point of quarreling with them or getting upset with them about it. You just change the subject or you add to it, and then you take the conversation from there. And if you don't want to talk with her, then you just politely exclude her from the panel. You don't quarrel with her about it.
And what all I'm gonna say is, look, I left so she could do what she wanted to do. Y'all can do what y'all want to do with her. So I left. You said something. She tried to go into a 10-minute statement about her relationship with God. Well, it ain't got nothing to do with what we talking about. It got zero to do with it. And I wasn't going to sit through.
She was getting there, but you came in with the axe in the karate.
She wasn't gonna get there, Sharp. But Roger did. He did jump in real fast.
Okay,
but she wasn't gonna get there.
We should have stood on the suit that we should.
Wait a minute.
No, we should have stood on the suit.
Jumped in a little quick. Maybe I jumped in a little quick. I'm gonna tell you what I figured in my heart. Since she wanted to say what's in her heart, I figured she wasn't going to talk about no actual relationship with God. It's almost offensive that she gonna try to hide behind God. I don't like people trying to hide behind him either.
God, man, yeah, bro.
You know, and I don't think she was gonna say nothing in relationship to the subject of the show. And I don't care what you talk about, as long as you can relate it to a show topic. And if you don't have the ability to do that, I don't really need you here. And you know what I'm saying? And at the end of the day, she ain't been nothing but disrespectful the whole time. She came at the beginning being disrespectful. She left. She didn't hear anything. We tried to give her a pass, let her back up, but she didn't hear. And then when we asked her about the fact that she heard it or not, then she lied and said, I heard y'all invite me back, even though you already told us you wasn't listening to anything until you got back. The lady just a pure liar. Now,
I'm not mad at that, though. I'm not really mad at that part.
Now, my thing
Roger
is what? No. My thing is what have I always said? You can count on black women to lie to you and lie on you. So if that's all we gonna get is lies, now if she would have just said, you know what, I didn't hear y'all and I just came back anyway, I would have just let it rock. But she couldn't even do that.
But Roger, to be fair, she wasn't lying on you. She was lying on Chef Mike, and that's cool. So.
My thing is, if she's not gonna add to the show, and I understand I'm being hostile toward her, and I accept that. I don't care. You know what I'm saying? And I know that a lot of black women just ain't used to it. I don't feel like tolerating nonsense all the time. A lot of time I do tolerate nonsense, and I've had a lot of other female guests where I tolerated a lot of nonsense. I just don't feel like it today.
No. I think the problem is you actually responded right. That's actually the funniest shit is we live in a world that's so crazy though. The right response seems odd.
Roger,
that's the crazy part. Because at the end of the day, when did the demon become food?
You from Chicago?
You didn't have to bring her back.
She was yes. That's the point. Yes,
you didn't have to bring her back.
That's why I was saying we should. Well, like when we gave the soup. Outside of that, bro, unless we should have brought her back up immediately.
Well, you know
quote unquote that. Other than that, we should have dropped her, bro. I wanted to say that earlier.
We can talk about that off air.
We can talk about this. We can talk about this afterwards.
Yeah, we can talk about that off air. I'm gonna say I am totally fine with what I did. I don't like the lady. I gave her a chance, even though I don't like the lady. If the lady would have just simply stopped lying, I would have let her carry forward. But if you're gonna come back just to lie, I ain't got no use for you. You know what I'm saying? That's the whole thing. You're gonna come back just to lie. Ain't got no use for you. You ain't helping. It's not that serious at the end of the day. And I'm not one of them people that's gonna sit up here and let this lady talk trying to get money. I'm trying to make a better community, and I can't do it with somebody who can't even admit one small thing. You can't admit the smallest thing. Okay, well, no, I didn't hear y'all. I just came back. That ain't even that big a thing to admit.
And this is the Roger Report Live. This is Roger, and he's right.
And I don't know that this is the norm for not all, but most black women. Man. Like, I mean, if you're gonna bring them up, this is what we're gonna get most of the time, excluding a very few.
That's the point. That's the point. That's the point I'm making. I mean, if you're gonna have her here, I'm gonna try to have a conversation in which it could be somewhat productive. Accepting the fact that there's going to be a lot of gobbledygook in between.
Yes.
And therefore, rather than get upset about it, I'm going to cut her off when she get onto some bullshit. I'm going to cut her off and we're going to go on to something else. I'm not going to get mad with her for being what she is.
A woman.
Because if I can't tolerate what she is, if I cannot tolerate what she is, I'm not going to let her be here.
Okay, now y'all, and I'm gonna just say to y'all, this ain't even my mad phrase yet. I ain't even got to mad yet. It's just I don't feel like it today.
We good then. We good.
Nah, Roger's your show, brother. Whatever decision you make, man, that's the final decision, brother. We ain't tripping on any of that.
Yeah, man. We don't want to see you mad.
Yeah, I don't feel like it today. Real talk.
We don't want no smoke from you, brother. We don't want no smoke.
Sometimes I don't know if it's vibes, I don't know if it's spiritual connection, whatever, but I be getting feelings about certain people sometimes. Y'all even hear me say it sometimes when somebody coming up, I don't think it's a troll. They seem like they all good. I'm going to let them up. Then some other folks I think is an actual troll and they turn out to be troll. So I'm actually trying to make sure I'm responding to what I'm getting from people. I don't like that.
Roger, you ain't got to explain yourself, brother. You ain't got to explain.
So you saw a demon So you saw a demon and you acted accordingly, but then all of a sudden we have a problem necessarily. When we see
No,
demons,
no,
then we
no.
act
No,
accordingly.
we can,
Bro.
hey, we can discuss all this off air, y'all. We
Yeah,
can discuss all this off air. Let me read these super chats in because I gotta honor the money. Shout out to Landon. He said black women demonize themselves. We have eyes to see you. And I'm definitely gonna agree with that. Shout out to Indigo Flow, who said ask them what they mean by ask them what they mean by demonize. Words mean things, which we did actually do. We did. Well, no, I don't know if we did that. We
No,
did some
no,
of
no.
y'all
that.
didn't.
Yeah, we didn't do
You
that.
you came
No,
in. You
no.
came in
What
hot.
she
You came in hot.
explained, she explained, well, yeah, and I couldn't really get to it fully because of that, but she basically explained, she basically said she saw a demonic image and concluded from that we're demonizing black women. That's what she
Exactly.
said. And I don't think that that's necessarily an invalid position.
Yeah,
I
that's
mean,
the
if I
That's
thing.
not.
saw
That's
an
not.
image of black men, let me finish my statement for Christ's sake. If I saw an image of black men being presented a certain kind of way, and I have no perspective at all of what's being discussed at that point, other than that, I might draw a similar conclusion. I might be later be proven to be wrong, but that don't necessarily mean that initially I'm not moved to say, oh, here's some more shit to say that black men are thugs or
Hmm.
demons or whatever.
Amen.
Okay. All right. Shout out to Joe's. Joe said, "Mama is God." Hashtag long live the habitual line steppers. Hey, appreciate you, my brother. Appreciate you, my brother. Y'all, sorry I didn't get these super chats on while she was here. If something reflected to her. Shout out to Gold P. He said we will talk about it at the round table. We I'm gonna say we on your behind today, Roger. Hey, that's cool. That's cool. Maybe I pulled the plug prematurely. I'm still human, y'all. I'm gonna reserve my right to be human. I can be wrong at some point. Okay. Shout out to
I,
Gregory Scotland. He
I
said
tried to
salute.
stop him. He turned into the juggernaut, y'all. I tried to stop him.
You
Shout
can't
out to
stop.
Gregory
You can't
Scotland.
stop the juggernaut.
Shout out to Gregory Scott. He say, salute Roger. Black women love to tell everyone else how they have great relationship with God or they are righteous. And you know what? This just wasn't the show for you to talk about your great relationship with God when you can't even deal with women doing something that I'm pretty sure God would not tell them to do. He kind of make it
Exactly.
kind of clear, you know what I'm saying? So if you don't bring them up, you're gonna have to be careful about how you even bring them up sometimes.
Man,
Shout out to Ryan
Ro-
Decipher. He says, I don't see anything wrong with what happened. Roger gave her the John Constantine treatment. Roger ain't having
man.
it. Blast away and go grab a bite to eat. Hey,
You said, demon, I compel you, and then she got scared. You said, demon, I compel you, and then she got scared, and then you started.
Man.
You saw it. All of a
yeah.
sudden,
Ro-
all of a sudden, the mask came off.
Roger, Roger got off stage, went and got the Storm of Sidorak, and came back and just plowed through everybody. God damn it, this is ridiculous. This is ridiculous.
Okay. Let me say this, y'all. Let me say this. Hey, man, sometimes it's just going to be how it's going to be at the end of the day. I think I did a good job regardless. I don't regret kicking off. And maybe I shouldn't get no bad things about you when you come up here. And then if I'm trying to let you be a part of the show and I'm steady asking you calm down so we can let this go forth and you still trying to push the button or push the envelope or whatever you call yourself trying to do, hey man, that's on you at the end of the day. It ain't her show. Well, yeah, I'm gonna leave, but I'm trying to leave. What that mean? No, I got to do stuff. My vision is more important to y'all, and I got to tell y'all everything on my heart before I go. So I'm gonna leave, but I got to tell y'all how I'm leaving. No, lady, you're not that important. It's just that simple. At the end of the day, you're just not that important. So, hey, if you knew, stop coming to the Roger Report thinking you somebody. Everybody's a nobody here until I say otherwise. I'm just gonna put it like that. Until I say otherwise, everybody's a nobody until I say you were somebody. And that's just real talk. Okay. So we'll keep the order. Nobody has to think I'm picking on them as a person. Everybody's a nobody until I say you were somebody. Now, I don't mean that for real, but if you're going to try to be on the panel and just act any old kind of way, yeah, this ain't the place for it. Okay. And don't hide behind God. I don't appreciate that. Okay. Leave God out your effery. I'll say that. Leave him out your effery. And we're going to close the show, y'all. We're going to have a good backstage, obviously. Y'all have a wonderful day. I appreciate all the support. Long live the habitual line steppers. I'm glad we got hot sauce back. I'm Roger. Oh, matter of fact, let me just stop tripping. Shout out to Gold P on the super chat as well. I mean, excuse me, the Cash App as well, because he dropped the $5.95 in. So shout out to Gold P for that before I close it out. And he did say for a small carton of milk. I don't know. You saying somebody gonna go missing, brother? But you can explain that after the show, because I want to know what you're saying right there. Y'all have a good rest of y'all day. If you're new, make sure you subscribe to the channel. We do this at 9 a.m. Chicago time, not where you happen to live. Long live the habitual line steppers. I'm Roger. I'm right, and I'm out.